Hello, this is episode 7 of Muay TV. I'm Ezra Regan. This is my co-host, Justin Samaro. And today we're joined by a special guest, Coach Lino Enriquez. Lino is a former Muay Thai champion that has went on to open Main Event Muay Thai Gym in his hometown of Sacramento, California. After years of success as a coach and gym owner, he's entered the scene as director, promoter, and the main man behind Rising Stars Muay Thai series. Coach Lino, how you doing, my friend?
Doing well. Thanks for having me, guys.
Yeah,
absolutely, man. Thanks for coming on the podcast.
Of course.
Yeah, so Justin reached out to you, and we got you down here.
He's been bugging me for a while, man.
Yeah.
I knew it was the right time. Yeah, it did.
I appreciate it.
Yeah, we tried to get him on either before or after Rising Star 6, and doing it after the fights, and it sounded like the best plan, and so glad it worked out. So glad you're here.
Yeah, I try staying low key, so it took a little from me to say yes, but I'm glad we can do this.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, I didn't know if you would come on.
No,
he was sweating it a little bit.
I was. I try keeping my, especially with the promotion and stuff, I don't want to be the face behind it. I want to just build the scene, I'm sure we'll talk about the promotion in a bit, but I want it to have its own life.
Yeah. Why don't you want to be the face of it?
Because I think a lot of times promoters get in the way.
You're such a family man, though. It's like great that you have your kids there. I think that for you, from what I see, you're in it for the right reason. Not all promoters are in it with the passion and the love that you have. So I don't think it's a bad thing to have.
I'm always waiting to see a write-up. I'm always waiting to see some of the other fight media do a piece on Lino Enriquez. I mean, the accomplishments you have in the sport and what you're doing right now, it seems like, we should have had you on Muay Thai Gram or something like that.
No, it means a lot, but,
we're honored to have you.
No,
we want to give you
appreciate
the mic, and the Muay Thai community's listening. It's a real honor to have you on the show.
I appreciate it. I know you always give my accolades and stuff, but like we said, it's like I don't know what the ceiling is. So it's hard for me to be proud of something. I don't even know where we're going with it yet. Like, I know where we're going. I don't know how far we're going with it,
For sure.
So I don't want to pat on the back just yet.
Yeah. Well, it seems like it's continuous. You got how many this year have you got down?
Within 12 months, it's our 5th show.
Nice.
Yeah, we're on RSMT 7 coming up.
That's keeping us all busy.
Yeah, I'm glad we can do it. Somebody has to.
Locally, too.
Right.
Yeah, it's great.
And then the last show, at the Elks Lodge, Friday night, we talked before, you're a little skeptical how many people were going to come out, but that looked like a sellout.
It did good.
Yeah.
It did good. You were right. You said easy sellout, and I didn't think so because it's our first Friday show. And for me, I thought 300 people would be great. It was like 1,000, over 1,000.
Oh, wow.
Well, they said 1,400 without the ring,
okay.
But we crammed them in. And obviously, like, they're not all at the same time. Some people are coming in and out. They watch their fighter, then they leave, or they get there later.
Right.
But total was about 1,100, yeah.
But, yeah, the momentum, the show was amazing. I mean, everyone was having a great time. The place was so loud, and it seems like it's just building every show, getting crazier.
Yeah, it is, and I really liked our shows at Track 7 because it's hard to blow the roof off that place. It's so big. So with this one, I was kind of skeptical on, like, it's smaller. So, like, would they invite us back? Because it might get too crazy, right? Like,
that was good.
Oh, they love it.
Why?
They loved it. They loved it.
What was there like a contract, kind of like a couple? You could do a couple. We'll see how it goes, and then with Track 7.
No, they just it's too hot in the summer, man. Like it's 105 degrees out here, and they don't have an AC. And then they had some renovations they were working on.
That wouldn't work.
I didn't want to step on their toes, and I'm kind of waiting for them to hit us up if they have room for us. But I think Elks is great.
Yeah, the vibe was a little different,
It was.
and we liked it. It was kind of like the show that I did, where it was like dark.
It looked a little more like
a Miami nightclub.
Yeah,
kind
it was
of
like
vibe.
a dive bar kind of feel from like the.
Man, I've been waiting to do a
the
dark
live
show.
stream.
I want to do a fight night type thing, and it's like Saturdays. I like doing afternoon shows, so the family comes out.
Yeah.
But this was our first Friday show. I wanted to make sure it was like a fight night type of vibe. Less fights than usual, but I wanted it to be like fight night, dark.
Okay. So how is it running the show from a Friday compared to a weekend show. Because I can kind of speak on it from a fighter's perspective, because I know the weigh-ins are on Thursday, not on Friday. Yeah. So when you're, a working man and stuff, it can kind of.
So that part was hard, and I think is why I was skeptical, because of the crowd. You don't know where they work or what hours they work. The fight community, we train in the evening anyways, Thursdays, Fridays, like it doesn't matter. You're gonna show up to weigh-ins. I knew that wouldn't be a problem. I knew fighters would make the weigh-ins. They'd be there on time for the rules meeting. It was just the crowd. I didn't know if it'd be,
Well, as a fighter, you got to take 2 days off.
I mean,
you got to take a Thursday and a Friday off.
Maybe if they're coming out of town, but if you think about you'll be in the gym anyways at 5. So
well, to cut weight.
Cut weight.
I got to cut weight.
The late weigh-in you do, great.
Yeah.
I can still go to work. I can still do everything. And then, well, I'm lucky I live close, but it's very, very smooth. And, man, the weigh-in you did was, like, the fastest one ever, I think.
45
That's what
minutes.
I heard, too.
You guys PR'd the the weigh-in.
You KOM'd the weigh-ins.
I think that was our fastest one yet, and I think we've been close to 45 minutes to 50 minutes.
Yeah.
And this was about 45 minutes.
Well, that's an interesting topic, because it was on my list of things to talk about. I don't know if
What's that, weigh-ins?
Yeah, just weigh-ins.
It's been a shit show.
Yeah, well, as I can just speak from my perspective, it's like you get to the weigh-ins. I mean, you fought, you've weighed in, you fought, you've weighed in, but I don't know how your guys' went, but man, when you are like at death's door sometimes, and you're just I don't know what the fuck we're waiting for. And then there's like paperwork, and they're like, we need the money and all the Is there any way to do that stuff like prior to the weigh-ins, so you don't have to, sit there waiting to just hydrate? You just get in there, get on that scale, and get out of there.
So that's one thing I do like a lot about the IKF and Chris Fields is he'll let you weigh in right away. You do need the paperwork. We try mailing it out. We try emailing it out. And we want you guys to have it pre-filled, so you just hand it to them.
Okay.
But nobody opens those emails. They just don't.
Yeah, I was like, I don't know. Yeah, all right.
They just
That's
wait
good
to
to
do
know,
it the day
though.
up.
That's good to know.
But everything can be printed and done beforehand. Fighters, you're not thinking about that when you're cutting weight.
There's also some day of stuff that needs to happen, like legally. Paperwork, so they might as well do it in person right there, and it doesn't take long.
The thing too, like about the ticket money, that's one thing we don't do. We like you guys to weigh in, handle all that, and then give them the money after.
Yeah, okay.
Other promotions, it's like you can't even walk in the door.
Yeah.
Give me the money now.
Yeah.
I don't like that.
WFC was like that. We had to do it was like an hour long kind of situation.
But I like the weigh-in.
I was like, I can't even fucking count right now. Like, can you just count my money for me? Tell me what I
You're
need.
dying.
I can't even think.
You're dying. You guys are dying.
Yeah.
Me, I like it. It's like part of the boxing pageantry. The day before the face-offs, you get to see all the homies on the scene. But also, anytime I had to check weight, I never cut weight. I kind of just, it wasn't that serious.
That's nice.
Yeah, where you're dropping 10% of your body weight and that.
Yeah.
But
going from 160 to 142.
Lino, the talent on the last card, I mean, as usual, awesome Muay Thai talent from the amateur scene, and then from the juniors to the high level title fights. Really, really good card.
Thank you. Thank you. We work hard on that. I put my name against anybody as a matchmaker. I put my name against anybody.
Yeah, you really see that. The matches are always very competitive, and including a lot of the Muay Thai gyms of the scene. So we get Muay Thai versus Muay Thai.
I posted that on my Facebook recently. We've done 83 matchups on our first 6 shows. Only 4 have been TKO or knockout.
Man,
the rest are all decision. I swear.
Let's go. You got to change. We got to get on that.
It's definitely my goal.
Right. It's not that it doesn't happen, right? But in fighting, anything can happen.
Yeah, so it's harder than it looks, man. I mean, like you see these UFC guys putting in huge knockouts, and it's fucking hard to land a good shot against a good opponent. You get a good matchup against, somebody that's as good as you. It's not supposed to be easy. It's supposed to be hard.
But the good athletes, the good defense, the competitive matchups is preventing these bad knockouts.
It goes to show good matchups.
Yeah, we hang my hat on that.
Yeah. Muay Thai, good defense. Shouldn't get knocked out very much.
And you look at some of like the stadium style, like the golden era fighters. They might have 300 wins and 50 might be by knockout, maybe 50.
Mm-hmm. Right.
I know the style's a little bit different, but like for me, I look at that as like, that's good matchmaking. They're fighting good opponents. They're not easy to get knocked out, easy to get hit, you know?
Yeah, that's a good point.
But I really like how you include the junior athletes, and we have such a bright talent pool of juniors, but that's really feeding their dream.
Mm-hmm.
You see those kids holding that red belt, and and that would ignite you like the Karate Kid.
Absolutely.
You know, if you saw that when you were 12 and training Muay Thai, I mean, unbelievable. And then, they have a great local stage to do that. And the support for the juniors, the parents, the brothers, you know, how many people those kids bring out?
They probably sell the most tickets.
Right.
You know?
Yeah. Yeah, you took the words right out of my mouth with that. With the juniors, it's so cool to watch those kids come up, because I don't know what changed, but like it seems that fighting is much more acceptable with younger athletes, and it's just builds so much character, and it's so cool to see a kid achieve something like that.
I see them not include the kids, and for me, it's like, what's gonna happen in 5, 6, 10 years? Like, these are the kids that are gonna be running the stage. You know, they'll be the adults on your show. Why not show them love now and give them a place to build? You know?
Yeah, they're having fun too.
And
they love it.
And they're putting in the work.
And these kids are messaging us on like the Rising Star stage. They're like, "Yo, put me on for a title next."
They're hungry.
Hold on, Junior.
Yeah.
Like, hold on.
Yeah.
We talk to coach about that first.
But yeah, it's just feeding the fire, and the explosion of talent in Northern California and in the Muay Thai scene, that's helping to feed it. You know, it's coming from the youth. Last couple podcasts, I was making fun of the older amateurs like Tyler and Incho and even Justin. But I was asking, you know, who what about the teenage mafia? You know, these guys in the next 5-6 years are going to be the one.
You got a lot of good juniors.
Yeah.
They're coming. I'm going to send you my roster.
Yeah, for sure.
They're right on the cusp.
Yeah.
You know,
Julian. Julian's.
Yeah,
he's great to watch. He's an ultimate competitor.
Yeah, they're the talent for the future. But yeah, all the details. You know, one thing I was talking about was, you do a lot of great details, like even the shirt. Our fighter Andrew got his face on that, and man, that just was such a big deal to him and his family. The poster, that kind of freezes it. Right. You know, you kind of captured it right there. And one thing I always thought was cool, and a huge part of boxing culture and Muay Thai culture, is the fight poster. Right. And when I did A1 Muay Thai, we didn't do a hard poster. And I wanted to do it bad. I was going to do it with my own money. But when you get that poster and your face is on that, it goes up in the gyms. Yeah. And it stays up on the walls. And kids every week and for years down the line come in and they look at that and they're inspired by it. You know, and it kind of puts you on the wall there as a permanent mark, you know. And, your posters, all the ones we've done, I have them. You know, I collect them.
The memories, the memorabilia.
Yeah. I tell my guys, you know, everything's going digital. And for us, the collectibles are shorts right now.
Yeah,
right? They want the fight shorts.
The shorts
it's real.
It's
not digital. It's real.
But the posters, right? Like before, you came from old school, right? Like the posters we put on telephone poles. We're not doing that no more. That's Instagram. That's Facebook. Yeah. But people still want that poster. So I always hand them out at the show anyway, because somebody wants it.
Yeah, you guys still
hanging
put them
up in the garage gym.
Yeah, I still put them up.
We put them up.
Yeah.
We put them up.
Yeah.
To us, it means a lot.
Man, and I still look at them from years and years. You know what? I have some. I used to apprentice under when I was young, I used to corner apprentice under Will Edgington, and he worked with Tony Lopez and a lot of the Sacramento greats. But he gave me that Floyd Patterson poster I have in my office. And it's like from the 60s, and they used to show the fights at Memorial Auditorium downtown. But it's such a cool piece of boxing memorabilia. And, all the little details you do for your show, it just makes it special.
Andrew, he messaged me right away. He's like, bro, that's so sick, man. Are you going to be selling shirts? I told him, yes, we are. You know, like, and it's part of why we're doing this is we want to build not just recognizable champions, but recognizable fighters in the community. And it doesn't have to be just from our area. It can be from all of NorCal. But you see yourself on a shirt, it might make you want to fight again.
Yeah.
It might make you want to sell tickets. And not just for our show. Like, maybe it builds you for other shows, you know?
For sure.
Builds the athlete. Because,
Yeah.
I mean, it's more than just fighting. You self-promote yourself.
And you got a kid, right? Like, wouldn't you want to have a shirt you put away for him when
with
he's
my
old,
kid.
you know?
Oh, hell yeah. Yeah,
Put
I mean,
that shirt up.
that moment when Leo was, reachable for me to win that fight and say, get up here, and then have him in the ring right after I won, that was
Dude,
great.
I seen
That
you
was
in
so
the
cool.
back. You put the medal on him.
Yeah.
Yes.
And it's like, I was like, I was proud of that.
Yeah.
'Cause I was cornering fighters that day as well, but I seen you back there. He's running around with his medal, and I'm like, man, that's sick. you know?
Yeah.
That's why we do it.
Because you're dad, you
Yeah,
know?
we get it.
And it's cool to see, again, like your girls, handed that to me, put it on me. Your family's out there selling tickets and stuff like that. So
Yeah.
I think that's
That's
awesome.
Yeah, that's a whole nother layer, right?
Right.
Like at Rising Star 6, to watch Incho raise the belt in front of his hometown and his parents. And when me and you met each other, we were in a scene, probably going to fight. Like
Right.
our gyms
Yeah.
or rival gyms. And man, to grow to something else, to where on your show, my fighter got a chance to do that. That was something special.
It was
and you
cool
saw
for
how
me.
much it meant to Incho and
Yeah.
his family.
And,
that was a big day.
I don't know Incho too closely. I've seen him in the scene. Like you said, rival gym, so we always looked at him maybe as competition.
Right.
But he's always been a serious guy. And when he did win, I seen him in the back a little bit. He was so happy.
Yeah.
And it's really weird to see someone so serious, and then that we can provide something just to make them happy is crazy. And don't get me wrong, I like his opponent Fernando a lot. He fought on 4 of our shows.
Right.
I didn't care who won that belt. I know either way it was going to go to a great gym.
Mm-hmm.
But like either way, I was going to be proud of who had that belt.
But yeah, without you and your family and your team sticking your neck out and creating the promotion, that fight wouldn't have happened. Well, maybe it would have, but it wouldn't happen in Sacramento.
Right.
But
I thought you were like, maybe it would have happened like at 7-Eleven or something.
well, but that's what it takes. It takes more than it takes more than the one fighter or the 2 gyms even. They got to have a stage. We went through that season of COVID where there was no fights
Right.
and no one was fighting each other. So now, we're looking at all these as a blessing, and that was a great night.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we're
I missed
booming.
that
Yeah,
one.
we're
I was in
booming.
Seattle. Unfortunately, I missed it. But
Yeah.
there's another one on August 20th.
August 31st.
August 31st.
And where's that
Put
going
it
to
on
be?
your calendar.
Elks again.
Yeah.
Elks again.
Let's
Yeah.
go.
It'll be in the afternoon. I think 3 o'clock. But
Mhm.
we'll make it happen.
Saturday.
Saturday show.
Have you set the main event yet?
I haven't. I have a couple title fights that we've talked about already.
Okay.
But and the thing is, we have a couple of my boys that may be on it, but we're just waiting to hear back.
Sure. So how does that work? You're the man behind the promotion.
Mm-hmm.
I know when I did it, I had to have Tyler and the other boys run the corner.
Right.
How tricky is that for you when you got your own guys on the card?
So right now we're building to my younger brother. When he fights, I have to be there for him, and I'll give the promotion over to my brother or my wife, and I'll let them do all the hard stuff, and I'll just be coach. I'll let the matchmaking kind of go to my brother. I just kind of give him some input on it. My older brother Chewy, I don't know if you guys know him, big dude, he's always there.
I don't
course.
think I don't know if
Yeah.
I've met him.
Yeah.
Big Chewy's always there, And, but if Leo's not fighting, I can still do the promotion. He can run the gym, the fighters. And so, but it is hard because we have to balance that. And it got to a point even where the commission didn't want to let me do it because I owned a gym and I have fighters.
Yeah, I wondered if that would is
Conflict of interest.
Yeah.
But I told
I
them
don't see why it really would. It's not like you're setting these fights up,
it's optics, I guess. You're paying the commission, who then pays the judges, and I
Yes.
guess to them it looks bad.
Yeah.
If there's a bad split and your fighter's in the ring, it maybe looks bad.
Because you're working together.
But
yeah.
coach, the thing is that what I don't understand is how can some teams have officials who are referees or are judges who are friends with the other referees, but then when their guys fighting, maybe they don't work the show, but you still know that person. You
Yeah.
still judged and drink beer with that person after
Sure.
the show.
Can't help but to be biased and want them to do better.
But who else to run a promotion but a coach?
Right.
You remember the smoker days. Like,
Yes.
there was a lot of integrity. If I put my guy against your guy, I'm shaking your hand.
Yes.
And it's like, look, he's 155, 2 fights.
Yes.
You say 3 fights, let's do it.
Yeah, it was a martial art honor code type
Yeah.
thing, and everyone was looking, and there was that meant something in the Muay Thai community
Right.
to have, respect and your honor intact. I think that is one of the special things about your promotion and your family's business is it is your family. It's
Yeah.
not just a bunch of businessmen. Also, you guys are very passionate and knowledgeable of Muay Thai. Not just dabbling in random fight sports, but
Right.
you guys are Muay Thai and you're caretakers of it. We've spoken about it before. We feel like that's part of our duty.
Yep.
We're at that age to where we should say something. You
Right.
should come on the podcast. You should do a promotion.
Yeah.
And you can showcase Muay Thai the best, better than these other businessmen.
Yeah, it's part of the reason why we did it.
Because
We,
what qualifies these guys? Like we said on the last
Money.
podcast, like,
Money.
I mean,
That's
the
it.
money is
Yeah.
it. That's bullshit. Because we put a lot of time in here,
Well,
and we want, as a fighter, I want to fight on somebody who's passionate and who, like has integrity, like you show on your shows. You got your family, and you're open, and here you are talking on the podcast, and
Right.
I mean, it's not like you go to the PKBs. And you're like, who are these refs? Who are these judges? I don't want to like pick on just like that one, but you kind of have that in the back of your mind or I do, the older I get, because it's not just like a game for me. I'm kind of I look at everything. I've ran a business. I know how it goes to put on
When did you start in Muay Thai?
3 years ago,
Yep.
and some change.
So
right
Justin's-
when he started.
I just signed
here.
his greenhorn license.
Yeah.
So Justin's one of these guys, like you said, it's easy to pick on the PKBs, and I'm not saying you are, but
Right.
when that's all you know, like,
Yes.
it's some of these younger fighters and good skilled fighters, but they don't know the smoker days. They don't understand those days where
And explain to like the difference between a PKB
Man,
and a smoker for
a
people
smoker,
who don't know.
a PKB is done on mats. It's judged winner loser. It doesn't go on your record, or people say it doesn't, but then you go to Arizona and New York, and it is on your record. I don't know. It's hard to explain it, and that's why I don't really. Not that I don't like PKBs.
It's with a certain organization, right?
Nah, not even, man. Because it's just
Okay.
for me, it's hard to explain. And if you can't explain it to someone that doesn't know the sport, how will the sport grow?
Good point.
If I have to, like bring you to one and watch one,
Yeah.
and you pay $35 to watch a bunch of random people fight, how can I then bring you to watch an amateur fight and tell you that's different without you thinking that's pro?
Right.
And for smokers, it was so low key. Like, it was just in somebody's gym. We just get down right back there in the corner, and we would just talk and be like, hey, this guy's 155. All right, man, I got a guy for him. Cool, let's shake hands. If you're beating up on that guy, we'll look at each other and be like, hey, tell him, calm down. There's no winner.
So it's almost like sparring on a Thursday or something like that,
It was
but
like
you
a
guys
fight.
are just
Nah,
getting together.
It was a fight. It was.
You'd invite people and
I mean, if you brought people, you just pay like a $10 donation to watch, and that just helps the gym.
It's just to get into the gym.
Yep.
Yeah.
Some
with
of
your
the
shoes on.
some of the best Muay Thai shows I've been to in Northern California have been some smokers.
Yeah, for sure.
I've been to some crazy ones back at Crew Sam's old gym when Tyler and Krevy first got started, and then the Onofob Richmond smokers were legendary.
Right.
Sydney and Kevin fought there. Even when they got back from Thailand, they would fight there. And yeah, they really knew how to just put it on. And it was done by the community, and it wasn't a big deal. Then they found out how to make some money from it,
Right. But
and
you know
then
what?
they sanctioned it.
So that's what it sounds like. So smokers became like a little. People were like, well, we can make some money off this. And
Yeah.
This will be a whole like segment in its own, but it can be that way. Like at the end of the day, it's like, yeah, people probably were getting hurt sometimes. You didn't have to have an ambulance. Like, nobody knew like how to verify their record.
Yeah.
With the PKB or even like the MDLs now, it's like at least you have to register somewhere. Somebody knows who you are.
A little more official.
But just because there's more of them doesn't mean they're necessarily better. You know,
Right.
like those Anupop smokers. That's how I first seen Encho. And I
Yes.
remembered him when I put him on our first show on Rising Stars 1. Like, I remembered the quality of fighter he was back in 2012 or whatever.
Damn.
So it's like, like I would watch these smokers with that idea.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
He had some amazing 3-rounders down there. They were real. And yeah, I used to use those a lot.
He's a firecracker.
Yeah.
I mean, he's just tough, you know. He's a tough motherfucker.
But the businessman, you gotta have it is a business. But the thing, what I was saying about Lino is him coming from Muay Thai gives him an advantage, and him doing it with his family members, they're that tight, you know, over the other guys in the business. Their promotions aren't like that.
Yeah, don't get me wrong. I absolutely know you're not like, as much as you're doing this for the love of the sport, it's still time and money out of your life and your pocket. So.
The businessman or the money guy, he can hire the talent.
Right.
He can hire, and that's usually what they do, right?
The
You got the
passion's
investor, but
not
then you
there.
bring in the experts to do their job.
Yeah, they got to pay for the passion, which always you kind of feel that, you know. There's not, if the silent partner can, you know, fund the show and kind of just sit back and let the guy who is the artist do the work, you know, that works sometimes, but often not.
But we go into these things like my lady gets mad at me because I tell her, like, I don't care if I make money. Like, if I break even, I'm happy because my guys get to fight, right? Like, they get experience. Like, who cares? I'm paying, if we go to Tahoe, I'm paying for gas. Like, it doesn't matter. We're still paying. Go to Arizona, you're paying like 4 racks.
Yeah.
So it's like, why not just throw a show here? And if we break even, great, whatever. Yeah. And my lady's like, no, we should make something. So we try to figure it out. And luckily, the community supports us.
Yeah.
You know?
That's good.
So, Lino, how'd you get into the sport? You know, tell the people a little bit about your background.
Started like in 2007, 2008. There was one gym in town. I didn't even want to train, to be real. Like, my brother and my cousin started before I did, and they were kind of like my drinking buddies, you know? Like, so it's like when I'm trying to hang out, there's no one to hang out with. They're like, no, we got to go to the gym on Friday. And I think I was just an out-of-shape kid, just up to no good. And I do think that I wanted to do it, but I told myself I didn't because I didn't want to fail at something else. Like, I failed at everything else. You know, like, I'm thinking, like, nah, why would I even try? So, whatever, they convinced me at the time. I tell my students this now. I think I paid like $490 for 3 months of training back in 2007, which that's crazy.
That's
like,
hell of expensive.
there was only one gym in town.
Yeah.
And I think the only other one was Navaroni's, but that was up here in Citrus Heights. So it's like there was no one else to compare to. Gym was packed. You know, you go in there and it was expensive.
Ours was $90 a month.
Yeah, ours was expensive.
With a $200 down payment.
Wow.
See, there you go.
That's
you know?
That's commit.
That's what I was telling. Have gym dues gone up in the last 5 years or 10 years? I don't know.
Yeah, it's expensive.
Anyways.
And,
Jiu-jitsu gyms definitely are getting their money's worth, man. Those things are like $200 a pop.
It's hard. I tell my guys, like, you know, with the quality that as coaches we try to give, it's like you scare people off if you charge too much. Like, I don't even know why I signed up. Like, when I did it, I'm like, bro, $500. And then I wanted to buy some shorts, and he's like, nah, you don't have enough.
What gym?
It was Muay Thai, Thai boxing.
Yes.
Yeah, Crew Young. Crew Young was my original coach. And, man, I was there the whole time. I never went nowhere else, you know.
Where was that in South Sac area?
It was like a block over from where my gym is at now.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it was right there.
You know
cool.
what?
That's
We
cool.
needed some liniment oil one time. And we went looking for it. And we found it. And it was at this little Asian market. So we drove there. And right next to it was this Muay Thai gym. And we're like, oh, Muay Thai boxing. You know, what is this? And it was just some old school gym, but right next to it was this Asian market, and they had the Thai liniment oil. You know,
that was the
Well,
that was the only place.
That was like the third. We moved a couple times. When I first started, it was like a block over from where my gym's at now. And then we moved like a block over from there, and then we went to that Norwood one next to the Asian store.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Oh, was that Norwood?
That was Norwood, yeah. It's like one main street over, yeah.
And what made you decide to open your own gym? Like, what year was that?
2017, I opened up my gym. 2016, I was already teaching in my garage, though.
Yeah, you were. That's what I remember. You were running stuff in your garage.
I didn't want to. People get that twisted. It's like, I didn't want to be a coach. I always coached. I was, from like a year in, I was teaching people and helping people get started holding pads. But I did that for me, so I can kind of get better. You know, like, I didn't want to be a coach. And then my coach sold the gym right when I went pro. I fought pro once, and that was it. And then I went to my garage because he sold the gym to somebody else that, to me, like, nice guy, whoever bought the gym, but he had never fought Muay Thai before. So it's like, how are you going to lead me? Like, nice guy and all, but he's, you know, I went to my garage, and then we were supposed to get signed to Lion Fight, to fight out in Vegas. And then when we reached back out to the matchmaker, my brother, and then she was like, where do you train at? Our garage. We'll get back to you. Never got back to me. And it was like we kept trying to get
needed to make something up.
But you guys
'cause
were
Lion
doing some
Fight-
hardcore training.
Yeah,
They should have looked you up.
You know, it is what it is, though. You know, I
Yeah.
think it
Yeah.
turned out the way it did for a reason. But Lion Fight back then, you had to sell 10 tickets minimum, and that paid for your purse. They're probably thinking this guy's in a garage. Like
They didn't know. They didn't know Lino when they pull up. They bring like 80 people.
everywhere we go. You know.
But I remember the pictures and stuff. And there would be like these. They would take the after training picture, and it would be these guys, and they had the shorts rolled up properly. I was like, who the hell are these guys? We're gonna have to fight these guys. But it was good. It was good shit.
We had some good fighters in there, you know. Like
Yeah.
we trained hard. I tell my guys now we train for 3.5, 4 hours a class in the garage,
Damn.
because it was just me.
Yeah.
Like it's not like I had a time slot and then we had to get up out of there.
Right.
So it's like, nah, let's start 30-minute warm-ups, right? A bunch of sit-ups, push-ups and stuff, and then we did some clinch work to warm up, and then some pads, then some drills, and then some sparring, and then finish up push-ups, sit-ups, pull-ups, you know, and then some bag work on one bag that we had.
Did you ever go to Thailand and like get any type of?
I never went to Thailand.
So you just all your formal training came from? Like,
Here, yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
And,
And I'm sorry. The coach. Who was the coach?
Crew
again?
Young Sayarath was my coach. And he was really hands-off, and I believe that for that reason, I'm a good coach.
Who's the Sitmunchai guy? Crew.
They have Crew Dam is the old man.
Yeah. I met him at the
Crew San, Crew Dam.
Blackout Fight Gear office one time.
Yeah.
Anyways. All right. Well, that's cool.
Crew.
Yeah.
There's
And so
many-
you started fighting in 2007,
Mm-hmm.
and then when did and how was your career for fighting?
I started in 2007. Maybe if it wasn't 2007, it was early 2008.
Uh-huh.
But I was probably 17, 18, I guess. You know, I was weighing like 245 pounds, 240 pounds.
Damn.
Yeah. I mean, I'm big again now, you know, but I think I
You're
lost.
You're not
Yeah.
that heavy.
I'm 200. I'm 200.
Lino
Okay.
lost. How much weight did you lose?
I got down to 145.
So
yeah, that's what I was fighting.
with Muay Thai lifestyle.
That's it. Like within the first year.
Walk 145.
I tell my guys I used to walk 149 and fight at 160 because I would just run every day. But when I first started, I think
That's wild.
within the first year, with the first 6 months, I dropped like 40 pounds. And I think that's what kept me going, is because everybody would like, hey man, you look different, bro.
Right.
Like, you
That's
look good, you know, like, and then
Probably felt
I
good.
felt great. I didn't even, I was in the gym every single day. I just fell in love with it at some point. I didn't even look at myself and think I was different, because I was just
Yeah.
wearing Muay Thai clothes. I wasn't even wearing like regular clothes. So it's like, I would get the feedback, and then I just stuck with it. And within a year, I think I had dropped like 80 pounds.
That's crazy. Did you
Wow.
guys hear that? Sign up for a Muay Thai gym.
Bro, but you know my younger brother, Leo,
Yeah.
he was 330.
Yeah.
He fights at 155 now.
Unreal.
So yeah.
That's
crazy.
nuts.
That's half a person.
Yeah, I
That-
seen it.
That's
I was
a
like,
person.
is
is
that
a
the same guy?
He's half of himself. Yeah.
That's incredible.
So
That's
it's
crazy. I mean, that like the transformation photos, like like from like Christmas at 2018 to 2024. You're like, who's that? Like, oh, that's Uncle Leo. Who's that?
So
It's Uncle Leo.
yeah, it's crazy.
So, what was your best weapon as a fighter?
IQ. Easy. Like, because I was out of shape, because I wasn't athletic, it's like I had to work extra hard to do everything. Like, I felt like I wasn't fast enough, I wasn't strong enough, nothing. But like my mind, I had to understand Muay Thai. And like once I got it, like it made everything else better. People thought my teeps were great. They thought my kicks were great. They thought my clinch was great. But it was just when I would do it. And don't get me wrong, I'm not going to sit here and act like I was the best fighter, like I probably thought I was. But like it was just my IQ,
Yeah. One of the first times I encountered you was at a sparring session at our buddy Josh Shittongsai's old gym. And then it was a mix of Dennis from Round 5, who passed away, rest in peace, and a group of his students. Josh, you were there, and then I brought Tyler, Kevin, and Sydney, I think Dadrian. But I remember you and Kevin sparred.
Yeah.
Everyone sparred. But you and Kevin sparred, and afterwards, you're like, man, that kid is really good.
He was probably the best person I've ever sparred. Like,
Yeah.
and I mean, now it's different. Some of these guys are really good now, but at the time, I don't think I ever sparred someone that knew the game. Because, you know, up here, we're just sparring prowlers and stuff, you know? Like, I was trying to play the game, and he was doing the same thing, flying at me with, like, jumping kicks. Like, he was probably, at the time, the best person I've ever sparred.
Yeah, you kind of saw early the IQ and talent level of that guy. That was, like, right in the beginning, you know? Fun days.
Yeah, I only got to. I saw
Another
him hit
time.
pads one time there, and it was like my first couple of like my month, and I was just like, it was kind of that like like when Joe Rogan talks about hearing that guy when he was coming off of the light rail wherever he's at, and he heard this whack, this dude just kicking the bag, like that was like hearing Krevy hitting the pads, and coaches.
Yeah, we were just messing around, and he was a real pro at that time. But the next time I ran into you was with Kevin, and we were gonna fight Justin West at Onafod, but it was one of his Onafod 5 or something. It was his real card,
right?
Or his
At
sanctioned
the Richmond
card.
Pal.
Yeah, and then we had met at the sparring session, and then I was asking about Justin. I was like, "Well, how's he fight?" You know, and then Lino being loyal, how he is, he's like, he's my buddy. You know, I can't. He's like, I'm not gonna give you.
Nice.
You know. And, he's like, look at him. He's like, look at him. You know how he fights.
I remember exactly. Yeah, I was like, look at him, and you're like,
But that was.
You gave me a look. You're like,
Yeah, but
sorry,
I got it. I know.
Sorry,
I understood. That was good.
That's a great answer.
Hey, it never hurts to ask.
right.
You know.
Yeah.
And I didn't know they knew each other. I was just like, shit, it's another Sac guy. You know, let me see
What's up with
if
this?
I can get some information.
How
You know,
many-
also, they told me, Justin, they told me you were 6'4",
6'7".
and that was Kevin's second sanctioned fight. So.
He writes down 6'4", but he's actually 6'7".
Huge.
He's like my size. Yeah.
I think his
Holy
dad
shit.
played in the NBA. I think.
Yeah. But we probably still would have took the fight at that time. We were real crazy.
How many PAL? So I grew up in Vacaville, and there was a PAL pro. That's the boxing program,
Yeah.
right?
They're pretty much
Is that
every
it?
But
city.
it was a community.
Is it
center.
a Bay Area thing?
No, it's
Sacramento has one too.
Yeah.
Oh,
It's a
okay.
state-funded thing, Police Athletic League.
Okay.
It's like a community outreach thing that the police is supposed to do, and it's funded by the state.
Yeah. It was. I mean, yeah. A lot of people did it growing up in Vacaville. They had the George A. Duke Center. There's some boxer that's from Vacaville or something like that, and then he put a gym up and a little community center. It was cool.
It's good.
The gym ownership. So how old is Main Event?
Almost 8 years.
Man.
Damn.
Almost 8 years.
Yeah. And then the gym looks great. Always good fighters coming out of there,
you.
and all
Thank
different ages.
Very
Yeah.
good fighters.
Yeah.
Who are some of your top ones? Just I mean,
We have
I know a couple of them.
my
But
younger brother Leo. I think he's probably one of the top ones.
Mm-hmm.
He helps me coach a lot too. He's a 2-time USMTO A-class champion. He's a Rising Stars champion, and he's got a big fight coming up too for WBC. And then Sanctioning, one of my veterans. He's not my little brother, but I call him my little brother. And he's probably got like 20-something amateur fights. A champion as well. Jairus is one of the more recent guys. Started a little bit later, but a 3-time champion.
mm-hmm.
I lost him. I had him at my gym
you
for a
gave
couple
him to me.
months,
You gave
and then I closed.
That's
And
right.
Jairus lived right in the same neighborhood.
Ah.
So when I closed the
Good
gym,
dude. Jairus is a
Yeah,
great guy.
great guy.
Yeah,
I thought it
he's-
was out of the business. I thought it was dead, and I recommended the only other guys. You know, I mean, no offense, but I recommended Coach Lino and Coach Josh. You know, if you're gonna do Muay Thai. And then Jairus was local, and then he got on great with you. You've done awesome with Jairus.
Yeah, he showed up the day after you. You know what? He actually seen us at
Yeah.
when you put that video up that you were closing down. We were at a smoker at a PKB, and he went thinking that your team would be there, and we didn't communicate at all. But he came by that next Monday, and he talked to my brother Chewy, and then, I seen him put little baby Jairus on the counter, talking back and forth, and then they left. And I asked Chewy, I was like, "What's up with that guy? Like, just put his baby on the counter?" And he was like, "Oh yeah, he's coming back tomorrow. He's gonna start up." I'm like, "All
Wait,
right."
he left the baby on the counter
No,
and
he
he's
didn't-
going to
he
come
didn't-
back
no,
tomorrow?
he took baby Jairus with him. I was like, but he had him as just a
I'll be back.
baby. Just put him down and was like, just chatting. And at first I'm just like, oh, this guy like because we get people coming in to ask if we can train their 2-year-olds. So I didn't know if that's what was going on. And then he comes back, and then
Like, this ain't a fucking babysitter.
no, but we get that a lot. Though.
Daycare.
People walk by and they'll ask. So I didn't know we were middle of class, and then they talked maybe a couple minutes, and then he just kind of like grabbed the baby and left. And then I asked Chewy, I was like, "What's up with what home you want?" He's like, "Oh, he's back tomorrow, bro. He's signing up."
Yeah.
And I didn't know any backstory until Jairus told me. He's like, "Bro, I just got my shin guards. I just got my gloves. They just came in the mail today, and I can't use them."
He's pumped
Oh,
up, ready
yeah.
to go, and yeah.
Bummer. Well, that's cool. He seems. I think when was his last fight? It's been a few months, right?
When did he fight last? A couple months. WBC. It was a ranking bout, I think.
Yeah.
And
He had a
by
baby.
knockout. He had another baby. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Big
okay.
Red. Shout out Big Red.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
And he's got another big fight coming up July 13th. Him and Leo will be on the same card. He's actually fighting,
Trying to get on that card.
Yeah. Oh, did you emailed?
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah.
The 13th or the 20th?
The 13th. That's
The
when.
13th.
Oh, okay. Well, there's a
Yeah.
lot going on then. I mean,
Yeah. And
What's
the
on the
20th.
20th is Sacramento.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Who's the 20? What organization is that?
That's Ryan's. That's Purist
Oh, okay.
at the Sports Expo.
So
That's,
then there's the
Gabe
PKBs.
Scarapelli, I think. Right? The
Is it?
Evo? The fitness Evo?
Is it?
I think so. I think they do the matchmaking for him.
Oh, I see.
Okay. So they do the PKBs in the morning and then the.
Yeah, it's a whole day,
amateurs
of,
in
you
there.
know, and they got pro wrestling and CrossFit and
Yeah, I gotta
rock
send some guys
climbing.
into that too,
Oh,
then.
one of those
Yeah.
like expo type things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're gonna
Okay.
fight there.
There
Hell
you go.
yeah. I'm
Yeah.
yeah.
Gonna get you.
Coming-
Justin's making a comeback.
Coming out
About
of
time.
The last one he
Retirement.
retired, but now he's missing the action.
yeah. It's
Retired, bro. You can't retire. My guys are up my ass about fighting every single show. It's like,
Yeah.
I wish I had the opposite. Like,
yeah.
stop fighting. man.
Honestly, it was like I made a career change recently that's hopefully gonna be able to get me a little more time in the gym and not just grinding away. I'm still an electrician and I'll always be an electrician, but I moved out of the electrical field and I'm selling like brewery and winery
Oh, nice.
chemicals,
Nice.
and car wash chemicals. So like all the soaps and stuff
Selling
like that.
Herbalife and shit. Like,
Yeah, just I sell whatever. So if you
there you go.
yeah, but so hopefully that'll open up some more time. I can be in the gym more, and you know it's addicting. It's I love it. It's my passion. I've I thought, well, maybe I'll build a fucking deck and I'll do some things that were on my to-do list and that I've been neglecting from being in the gym so much, and I've chipped a lot of those things away off my
Good.
list, and then and I've haven't really found another passion to get into, and it's just still every time I came back into the gym, I'm like, this is what I love to do. And so I'm just
And you're good at it. You're 2-0, right?
yeah, I'm 2-0.
That's good.
And I love it. I have fun. I still have that grit, that drive for it. And the addiction and the high of being a fighter, and the what you tell yourself, when you're competing and active, and how you feel about yourself. I think it's beneficial to my lifestyle and who I am. So
I miss that the most. People ask me if I'm fighting again. I never say no. All right, like I don't want to say I'm retired. Like I know probably, most likely, 90% I'm not gonna ever fight again. But I miss that the most. I miss the nervous feeling. I miss the fear. Like not the fear of my opponent, but the fear of like, what if I don't perform? Like the fear of like not getting another one in. Like for me, it's the opposite of like wanting to retire. It's like I guess I get that when I coach my guys, but I miss that the most. The butterflies, I miss it.
well, you probably get to live vicariously through them, which shows a lot for your fighters.
Yeah, in a way, but I've coached so many guys, and it's like these guys have done really well. Like I get to step back a little bit and just take it. It's different. It's different. I don't want to ever take their shine. I love to watch them in their shine. Like I see them, like Jairus even. Like I'll see him win a title, and then baby Jairus runs up, and then he's putting the belt on him.
Mm-hmm.
I love to watch that. Like my brother, like I see my brother fight, and it's like I gotta like disassociate myself because I'm not big brother right now. I'm coach. And I'll pull back. It's hard.
Man, I even do that with other teams.
Yeah.
Even when it's a movie, when they win the title, I'm like, yes.
Yeah.
I feel good for them.
Right.
What's that sympathetic joy?
Yeah. Okay.
You know, like feeling good for other people. You know,
That just
when
goes
it's your
to
own
show
people,
you're a
it's
good person right there.
But yeah,
You
I
can't
don't
be a
care.
yeah.
Yeah, you know they're having that moment. You know.
And that's what's great about putting the kids, going back to the Rising Stars, seeing these kids win titles, and it's just, that's their year.
Yes,
Mm-hmm.
that's out of their mind.
I love it. I watch it, and it's like, man, that's awesome.
Movie.
Yeah, it's huge. I mean, all the kids are on their phone and they don't want to go outside. And we used to have to go. There was no choice. It was just like get out of the house.
We're trying to keep that alive. But as the fight coach, after training you for preparing you and putting in the hours on my end, I'd like to see you. I like them to 3 fights is the first goal,
Right.
but I'd like to see 10 amateur fights.
Yeah.
And your window's small, and I mean, it's up to you guys, but you put in the base work that you needed. You have all the contacts to get to fights, and that window's limited in your life. Yeah, we were talking about it earlier because I have some guys that have 1 fight, and they don't know if they want to do that second fight again. And they won, or they lost, but do it a couple more times. Experience
One of them is plastered on the shirt that you're wearing.
Yeah, well, yeah.
I mean, we love Andrew.
yeah.
We want to see that dude fight again.
He just wanted to have a
He
party
just wanted
summer.
to show off his abs.
No, so he's gonna fight again.
I talk to my guys
Yeah.
about that too. And it's like, it is hard always taking them to compete, but the work that we put in that we don't get paid for, if you just stop, it's like, and it's one thing to stop, and then if you're helping the team, even better. But if you're just gonna stop and leave, it's like, bro, all that I spent 2 years getting you ready and you're done.
Yeah.
It sucks.
Yeah.
Also,
And what are you gonna do after that?
but also, it takes a little while to find yourself in the ring. When you got a
Right.
young fighter, that first one, I mean, you killed it. You had some great performances. But what's going to happen if you work on that some more?
Yeah.
And we're seeing that with Incho too, because Incho's fought over 10 years, but now he has fought 4 times in a year. So he has momentum, and we've seen. I love it because my fighters are still getting better.
Yeah.
There's signs of life, and to me that's important. Their martial art training's working, and some of it is they've been good, but they're getting better at the pressure, making the weight, and then the night of the competition. That's all completely different than training in the gym.
We're all getting a little smarter. It's a team effort. Some people run their own program. You know how it is, and they
But
just but
even the pressure, like these last fights. We had 20 fights in 6 weeks.
Crazy.
From PMT to the nationals and the local title fights and whatnot, and I'm dealing with all of my fighters, and some of them, a week before the fight, they don't know if they want to do it. That pressure, that doubt creeps in, and then that's a big part of it, right? Is stepping over the line, and then they did it, and then they did fine. So they learned, each one of those fights, they're figuring that out.
Do you have many? How's your teenage group? Do you go to PKBs quite a bit?
We do the MDLs mostly for the teenagers, and then PKBs we've done a couple recently.
Mm-hmm.
It's just that I don't want to go on a tangent, but with the PMT, PKB or whatever, sometimes you don't get the Muay Thai style.
Yeah.
And so you're fighting brawlers, and it's like
Yeah.
my guys will then disregard their technique to beat a brawler, and then they'll run around like with a little medal. It's like, bro, you didn't do anything we worked on. So I do have a group of teenagers, young Abel, Brandon, Oscar, probably leaving a couple out, Reggie. Got a couple of 14, 15, 16-year-olds that are great. Like, maybe give them another year, and then they'll be in the ring, too, and killing it.
Fighting amateur.
Fighting amateur,
Yeah, that's where I'm at with a big group of mine is how long are you going to do the PMT, and step in the ring, make weight.
Right.
You know who you're fighting.
Finding
Sometimes
their
it's
weight
the
for
damn. It's the
teenagers.
same thing.
So-
It's the same thing. Some of those fights they're great fights. They're good matchups, and why not get in the ring?
Yeah.
Right.
You get paid for it a little bit.
PMT's new.
But the thing is, too, like I'm saying, is like with the teenagers is finding what weight class. Because they're still growing. Some of them still got the baby fat on them.
Yeah.
So they're 160 pounds. They should be fighting at 140. and they want to do an amateur at 160. It's like, nah, man, you don't even know how to cut weight yet.
Yeah.
So we take our time. We'll teach them a little bit as they go in the PMTs, and then
Work
maybe
into
take
their
them to
body.
a tournament. Like you guys took Julian to the USMTO. Like I'm thinking about doing that next year for my guys.
You know what? I did that with Alyssa also.
Mm-hmm.
She only had PMTs, and it was time for her to make her debut. And I did that with the Hernandez brothers.
Yeah.
Because
They
it
were
was
really good. The older one was really good.
Giovanni's back. Dadrian is the older one, but the younger one, Giovanni's 20 now, and he's back in the program. Yeah, he has like
Good.
10 amateur fights.
Good.
You know,
good.
Where's he fight out of?
Here I trained him.
Here?
He used to be my next door neighbor.
Oh, no shit.
Yeah, you just haven't met him yet. Yeah,
Oh.
but yeah, I used to have these two
I've heard
Mexican
about 'em.
brothers, the Hernandez brothers, and they
Okay.
were my neighbors. And yeah, I trained them up, and they quit for a couple years, but now he's back. I'm
Good.
hoping that happens to Fancy Nancy.
Yeah, she was really good too.
Yeah, but yeah, you know, when you go to the nationals, you're gonna get him a fight. You know, at least one fight,
Right.
and they're guaranteed it. Instead of waiting around for 15 months to get on a card locally. These days it wouldn't be a problem, but back then there was only how many cards? Now there's
Hard.
15. you
Yeah.
know.
Oh, look how many just in the summertime here.
Those are fun experiences too. We were talking about that on the last one. It costs a lot of money to go to those tournaments, but man, the experience those kids get and seeing the how big the Muay Thai community is outside of your area, that's, I think, worth it.
Yeah.
And the
It-
travel's fun, you know, to get
It
as to do it as a fighter and just with a group of friends and people you like
I
to be
hate it.
around.
I hate it. I hate
Yeah.
traveling. And, you know, because if I don't take my kids, then I'm missing my kids.
Yeah.
And if I take my kids, then we're spending like 4 racks. You know, like
Yeah.
so. It's hard. It's hard to get behind somebody's dreams, and you're losing money doing it. I tell these guys, it's hard. Like you don't gotta pay for my kids and my lady and stuff, but you got to be understanding that if I bring them, like it's a lot of money. And if I don't take them, somebody told me, they're like, "We'll just leave them at home, coach." It's like, you're asking me to stay away from my kids for 5 days. Like it's hard. Like, I'm not getting paid for that.
Right.
You know?
Yeah, I talk to the team about that a lot, and that's important to understand that it does take a lot. I'm in a position where my kid is grown, but even still, the time it takes away from your family life with even your wife,
Right.
you know.
I think it's an expectation that people have who come to the gym and then compete, and they're not fully aware that, you know, kind of on the post that I had recently on our group chat, but, you know, they don't understand that when you go to Oakland or you go to Stockton or even Sacramento, that, you know, you're taking the time out of your Saturday to go fucking hang out with these kids
Right.
more. And these are kids usually, you know.
Right.
I mean, not all of I'm like one of the only 30-year-olds, and you know, we'll hang out and have a beer or something. But he's not trying to hang out like for that long with me,
Oh, yeah,
and
he
then
wouldn't
he's got to
have
get
picked
back to
that,
his
yeah.
he's got to get back to his girl, his wife, and his his
And you
chores at
know,
home.
I wanted to bring that up because you put something on your guys' group chat. You put it on a screenshot or whatever.
Yeah,
And it was like, even $20 goes a long way.
right.
And as coaches, we don't want to come off and be like, bro, like give me, because it's not about the money. It's more just the appreciation
Yeah.
that we're taking time for you.
If you can go buy a pre-roll and some Taco Bell, then you can tip your coach $20.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
I do have
for-
some great like students that will
or
they'll
give
me,
him
like,
the pre-roll.
They'll
I
give me a
don't know.
Starbucks card, and it's like, man, like
Yeah.
I didn't expect it, but I appreciate it.
Yeah.
Like, and it's not expected, but it
Well-
just means a lot when you do it.
Yeah,
Well, my situation has gotten to the point where I've had to close a couple times because I wasn't able to pay my bills, and the guys that have been with me for a long time saw me have to do that. So yeah, it's got to make sense. You know, I got to be able to do my job, and the boxers got to understand the situation as well.
You know, I learned a lot from you when that happened. And I don't know if you remember, I reached out and I told you can use my gym in the morning.
I do remember that. I remember everything, man.
Like,
Yeah, I
and
really,
I really
that,
meant
that
that.
meant a lot. Yeah.
Because it's like when we
No
talk,
one else did that.
we talk about like our elders in the community, and it's like this was always an idea for me to have a promotion and build all these teams up, like in all of NorCal. So it's like when you close down, it's like, oh, we lost a good one. If there was anybody that had been doing it longer and probably better than us at the time, it was you guys. And it's like, oh, we just lost a good one. It's like now we're gonna have to make up for what they lost. So it's like, yeah, I learned a lot from that, and it's like I knew that was right before COVID. And like I knew, even if we were doing well, anything can happen. And I remember like, you know, we didn't even want to make renovations on our house. We had just bought a house. And I told my lady, like, hold up, like, let's, you know, anything can happen. Let's just wait a little bit. And then COVID happened, and I'm glad I kind of had the little safety net because I seen Coach go through what he went through. And it's like that's the only thing that kept me through COVID. So we could have lost the gym too.
Yeah.
Yeah, what a wild time with not knowing, you know, like, did you just like do what everybody else did and put shit up over the walls so nobody could?
You know what?
I mean, South Sac was a little more lenient, right?
No, well, I mean, we're in North Sac, you know, but we're right on the main street.
Okay. Where,
Yeah, we're in
I
North
don't know why I
Sacramento.
always think you're
Northgate.
Yeah, Northgate. We're North Sacramento.
Okay.
We're right off the
next
the
to Mather.
I had a
right?
little gym.
Pretty close
We're,
to.
man, maybe like 2 or 3 exits over.
Yeah.
I had a little
close-ish.
gym at that time. I was training the guys at Rudy's gym over by the Roseville DMV, but it was only the fighters that stuck with me, and about 10 of them did. I was training them in a little weight gym, and but finally when COVID hit, that broke my back there, and then I was like, boys, I got to go work for Tesla. Dad's out of money.
I gotta
you
go.
know.
Gotta go work.
But
Dream's dead.
But that's why like Tyler and Brian and those guys that went through all those seasons with me, those recent victories are so big, you know, because we died about 4 times.
And those guys have been with you for 13 plus years.
Yeah,
I mean,
shit, I moved to the Bay Area. Remember?
Yeah.
When I first started, I wasn't even living here.
Yeah.
I was living in South San Francisco, you know?
Yeah, man,
Commuting
we almost closed down too. I thought about it. I told my lady a few times because we were going through the whole little open, close, you know, whatever. We did the masks for a little bit, and then when I would open the gym up, like, because me and the landlord talked, and I'm like, look, I have nobody in here for a month. I can't pay you. And for a couple months, he was cool with it. He was like, fine, don't pay. And then the city would open up, and then I would open up, and I'd get like 20 people. So I'm working. I don't have a job. That's all I do is teach. So I'm working full time to lose money. And it's like I started,
Right.
and then we would close down like in 3 weeks, and then do it again the next month. And I'm sitting here going through like this little like cycle of depression that I never told anybody about. I'm just like sitting there like, that's where I gained my weight. I used to be 170 before COVID. I started like just drinking during the day on a Wednesday. I wasn't getting drunk, but it's like, I'm gonna drink a beer. There's nothing to do. I'm at home.
Yeah.
And it wasn't until my guys, Jarris, Austin, of course my brother Leo, Chris, Sanctioning, like they were like, Coach, can we train? I'm like, no, it's closed down. Like, I'm not gonna train. And then they're like, we don't need the gym. Like we can go to the park. Like, just come out. We need you. And I was like, yeah, go ahead. You know, go train. Go without me. Now we need you. And it really, it brought me out of that spiral. Because it's like, oh, you know, these guys, all the time that I've lifted them up, like, I never expected anything back. And the time where I'm slumping, they brought me back. And it reignited just like, okay, you know what? Let's do it. Started coming up with workouts. We'd meet up at the park. We'd run. And then we did the illegal thing and then just boarded it up. And I said, fuck it. I'm going to just open up. And then all my guys would tell everybody to come back. And they just kind of led that wave. And those are the guys that are still competing now. The guys that brought me back. And it was great. Like, I don't know if I would have had a gym if it wasn't for them.
What a crazy time that was during COVID and all that stuff that happened. And then this.
Right.
I mean, crazy. The stuff that has happened in the last couple of years, we could have never imagined it. At least me. I mean, if you would have told me this kind of, I was going to be doing this kind of stuff, even in my 20s, and I was already involved in the industry, but the stuff that's happening now is more amazing than ever.
Yeah, I think we had to go through that rough patch, all of us, the Muay Thai community in general, for this to kind of grow.
Also, I'm just loving it because when you've had everything snatched away, after that, everything's just so sweet.
Yeah.
I mean, even being at the event, I'm like, yes, I'm lucky to be here. Like that.
Yeah.
Oh, we're in the title fight? Hell yeah. Oh, we won? Bonus. You know, it just, you know, being alive and present that's how I'm looking at it.
Right.
Everything's a win bonus, you know?
He has an infectious energy. Ezra he absolutely is, man. Yeah, dude, it's good. It's great to see people happy and doing what they love to do.
And Muay Thai in general, like, I don't know if people are just bored from being in the house, but it's blown up.
Oh my gosh.
It's because it's the
Every
fucking
gym is
best.
packed.
It's the best martial arts to watch. Everybody wants to see the striking in UFC. Everybody likes to see people bleeding, you know.
But
It's shining. It's
I don't even know if it's the spectating part. It's just people want to train. Like
Yeah.
they may not want to fight, but the gyms
good to
that
know.
before COVID, I'm sure you see it, Coach. The gyms that weren't packed, even they're packed. Like every gym is packed.
It's shining, and you know what? People want to be part of something, and Muay Thai is a great community. You know, not trying to badmouth the other martial arts, but Muay Thai has a level of respect and everyone kind of being on the same level in the gyms. Like our gym, you could be training with a doctor or
Right.
a police officer or a gang member, and we all are in the same circle.
And they'll come to your fights. And
Yes.
it's like you
Yeah.
got like these are your boys. Like,
Yes, it's just
My home.
Such a mixed match group of people.
Yeah.
And where else can you encounter that? You know, other gyms, people all go there, but they don't know each other. They like mug each other as they do curls, and you know, yeah, this is more of a circle, and you end up knowing these people.
Yeah. The only other thing, only other martial art I can relate that to is like jiu-jitsu.
Yeah.
That's also, you know, when I think it's, I mean, there's more intensity, I'd say. Well, I guess I can't say that, but I don't know.
I think the other
two different styles.
I'm not familiar with jiu-jitsu, but boxing and like MMA, you know, and I know jiu-jitsu is extremely popular, but in like an MMA gym, the vibe is different. Our gym is a real martial art gym, so the vibe is more like a traditional gym.
But the vibe comes for me, anyways. I was told this a long time ago from a little Thai guy that came to our gym. He said the vibe comes from the owner, big boss. That's where the vibe comes from. Like you may have
I
a
believe
woman that owns the gym, and that's going to be more centered to like, I don't want to say fitness, but it'll be more accepting of that. Whereas you got someone that maybe has fought before, the training is more hard ass. You're going to see maybe less women there, and that's not because you don't want them there. It's just that's
The
big
intensity
boss.
of the coaching.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I
There's
guess
only so much. Sometimes you can't take that, like, you know, somebody really talking at you, be the cower.
but I guess there's goofy Muay Thai gyms as well.
There is.
Sure.
There
I think
is.
no one's safe from the goofiness, you know.
And every gym has a goofy person in it.
Yeah.
Well, we're all like,
You know, like-
we're all a little
Yeah.
weird. I mean, you know, like I said, it's a very mixed group of people. So
But Muay Thai culture is good. It works for a lot of people, and then the training is fun and obviously effective for fitness.
yeah.
You
So
need it.
I got to ask you, because you got like a really unique food culture outside of your gym. Like, I mean, in like the parking lot.
Yeah.
Right. So, what's your favorite nomadic food vendor?
It
So not
was-
like a brick and mortar, like
Oh.
all those, because there's just you go
ton
up
of
and down the street. There's the pop-up tents. I don't want to call them pop-up restaurants because it's too overused. So like nomadic.
Man, that's hard.
got the
There's
best
so many
trompo?
of them. You know what? I'll say one of my cousins, his cousin by marriage, they own Tacos La Piedad, and they own the brick and mortar next to our gym across the street, and they own a taco truck.
Okay.
So I'm gonna pick that one.
All right. All
Yeah.
right. And what's their
Tacos, just they have every kind of taco you can pick.
And
it's
they're right across the street with the brick and mortar.
brick and mortar, and
Okay.
then they're so popular they have a taco truck like a block away.
Okay.
So yeah, they do really well. So
Yeah.
I would say that's my favorite.
What's the best birria tacos?
I mean, it's easy to say that like our neighbors because they're right next door.
The little pink one.
Yeah, they're
Yeah.
right
I
next door.
haven't eaten their tacos yet, but I fucking love birria tacos.
They're pretty good. I'll recommend them if people ask me about them. Like, and they're so close to us. It's like it's always better when you don't got to go too far.
Sure.
So yeah,
Jairus said the green truck.
the green truck aguacatero is great.
What is
Like,
it?
El aguacatero.
Okay.
It means like the
I can't-
the
I'm not-
avocado man.
Okay.
They're really good too. But I'm gonna pick my cousins over them.
I'm gonna have to go try it. Over
Yeah,
there
we
'cause-
got to go do a tour.
Yeah, well, Carlos, he'll go down there with his parents. He'll be go do a little like Sunday trip and go eat some food down there. And he went and ate one of the little pop-up tents with some trompo.
And you know what? I'll even say like that motivated me when I was first gonna open up the gym on Northgate. It's like you drive by and so you see all these like, some of these people may not even have like papers.
Sure.
And they're just grinding, like they got this business going. And when I was scared to open up a gym, my older brother's the one that's like, if you don't do it, some other asshole's gonna come in and do it the wrong way. And I was like, nah, what if I fail? But then I'm driving down Northgate and I see everybody just hustling and trying. I'm like, you know what? Like, we'll do it right here.
Let's go.
That's-
and
yeah.
it worked.
Motivation.
Chris, are we hooked up on the monitor? We are?
We're gonna bring some stuff up. Ooh.
Well, we've had a lot going on. We usually like to look at a couple different things. We've had a lot of big fights, right? The Raja series has started.
Yeah.
And what else? We had the Australian cards we talked a little bit about.
Which I will say that is my favorite promotion right now is Rebellion. You know, if you look at them and then look at a little bit of Rising Stars, you can see where I'm taking ideas.
Yeah, the show that they're putting together, it's enjoyable for everyone. The Muay Thai is super high level, and the production is good. The commentary is good.
And it's 5-round Muay Thai. They're doing more stadium style than Thailand does nowadays.
Yeah.
You know, so I love Rebellion.
Yeah, it's they're showcasing the sport really well, where people from all around the world can really enjoy that card. Also, athletes from all around too.
Yeah,
I like
they
that.
bring ties in all the time.
Yeah.
And, you know, Australia, we were just talking about it earlier, but I think they have the best Muay Thai scene, right? Maybe even better than Thailand.
Right.
Like, because their guys are like, you know the champions. Like, you know which guys are coming up. They're bringing Thais in. They're bringing the Brazilians in from Thailand. I think Australia has the best scene right now.
It's so close. It's so close to Thailand. So you got all the Aussies in Thailand. You meet them, they own a restaurant.
Like, you know, I ask people this, and maybe Coach will know because he's a nerd like me about Muay Thai, but can you name 5 pro Muay Thai promotions in America?
That's a good quiz right there. In America.
In America.
Damn, I had that before you said America. What's that one dude that fucking dodged out of A1 up in Reno? I don't even know his name. Anyways.
So who do we have? We have the one that happened, was it yesterday? WCK.
Yeah.
Eddie Absolo.
No.
What's that?
Promotions.
Oh, promotions.
Not
Like what-
fighters.
like what-
Promotions. Who's putting on the
shit.
shows? You can name them. It's just hard to name.
1FC.
They don't count. They're coming, but like the American ones.
They are
You know.
coming to California, aren't they? They're going to Colorado
No.
and then to somewhere.
I think Atlanta.
Atlanta.
Is it
That's right.
Atlanta?
Yeah, because they're gonna fight. Who is that guy that just fought? Who was out of Atlanta? The Thai guy.
Is it not a-
Legends does some pro matches. What about Major League? Major League,
Yeah.
They're
they do
coming on strong.
pro-am.
Yeah.
A1.
A fight night at the Tech.
Yep.
And then who's done who's the big one on the East Coast?
Freedom.
Freedom.
And then there's Warriors Cup.
Warriors Cup.
Warriors Cup.
Yeah. So I guess 6. But yeah, they're all pro-am cards, right?
And it's hard to even, like, for me to count some of them because it may be their first show.
Yeah.
It may be their second show. Like, it's not a running
So it's
series.
not like
Yes.
right.
You know,
Yeah.
and you look in Australia, they have like 6 or 7 running series.
Yes.
Like we were talking about Roots and Rebellion. Rebellion is like their top pro show. They have so many like fighters that they'll put on a pro undercard called Roots the same exact day. It's 2 events
Oh, that's cool.
run by the same promotion.
Good names too.
Yeah, Roots and then Rebellion.
Yeah, the marketing and everything is real slick. You know, very well done.
Let me ask this though, because you know, it's now that we're talking, it's like, do you think that the top level amateurs in America can compete with some of the pros, like around the country? The top level amateurs.
Or in the United States?
Yeah, in the
Yes.
U.S. So this is the thing I tell my guys, right? It's like, if we didn't have to pay medical fees and there was more pro shows that we can pay people a lot less, do you think America can come on a little bit stronger in the pro scene?
Yes. And I think, I mean, you look at just the really high-ranking amateurs that we have here in Sacramento, like Cy Hansen and Kevin, out of Sittong Sai, and then you got Tyler that's looking to turn pro as well. I definitely think so.
Bongo.
And these guys really are our pros.
Right.
There are up and coming pros that are in their prime, and they're just, why aren't they?
Right.
Because we can send them to Thailand and they can stay amateur. You know,
It's like a great follow up from what we talked about the last podcast. It's
right.
Why go pro? Why would you go pro if someone like Tyler has the opportunity and then can't go back to amateur? Then you're kind of just stalemate. You don't have anybody to fight unless you're traveling all over the fucking place
There's no reason to go pro.
for $20.
Also, it's in a situation now where if you're a high ranking amateur, fighting in main events. Some of these amateurs are making $5,000. They're making $5,000 on
Sponsorships and ticket
and
sales.
they didn't have to pay for the MRI. They didn't have to do any of that.
Right.
And they're fighting with elbow pads, but in 2-minute rounds. But other than that, it's 5-round Muay Thai.
And are any of these guys actually thinking about this as a business? Is anybody actually like competing
I think
and
they
thinking
do,
like
but
I
it's-
need to get my sponsorship money
I
so I
guess-
can make $5,000 every 3 months to pay my stuff? Like, is anybody?
My guys do. My
Oh, well,
guys-
that's good.
My guys
That's-
do really well.
Yeah,
I mean, that's great. That's off the
yeah.
coach though
They're-
too, right? I mean,
oh.
the coach needs to kind of like teach that to the fighters.
Yep.
That's a big part. I've been training you guys and my guys how to make money for themselves,
Yep.
and they're being very successful at it. I just think a lot of the young amateurs just don't have the mentorship, the experience to do what it takes. Also, you got a lot of these fighters that have limited social skills.
I mean,
you
you're
gotta come
already-
out of their shell and actually ask.
You're already self-promoting yourself on Instagram for free.
Yes.
Like, fucking learn how to, make some money off of it.
I think in
sure.
California, I'm going to go back on the PMT thing, but that's kind of become the amateurs, and the amateurs have become the pros. And then there's no more pro scene.
It's a weird thing.
It is.
Yeah.
But, with Rising Stars, like I want to not just be the bridge from PMT to amateur, but I want to be like the highway from, amateur to pro. And if we can have enough of these guys get experience, we have the database of, who can sell tickets, who's actually trying to sell tickets, who's marketable, who can build a base. Then we can ask them and say, hey, do you and you want to fight on our pro card? Because you match the pro card. And you will tell you, it's hard. Like, hey, we have an event, who wants to fight? It's hard to get guys that way.
Yeah.
And you got to almost like persuade them to fight on your card. And they haven't sold a ticket yet. And you don't know if they will.
Yeah, it made me ask a lot of questions of why, and it kind of gave me a very clear picture of what the country offered in that pool.
Right.
And then it was obvious to see that the matchups were limited without bringing people from outside of the area, even the country, to make a consistent pro card and circuit, which would cost a lot of money. It would take a lot of ticket sales and
if you're building a show, would you be bringing in losers?
right.
Are you bringing in winners?
Right.
Because it's like then you bring the winners in to beat your local guys that are selling tickets, or you bring in losers to lose to your local guys.
Mm-hmm.
You don't want to do that.
Yeah, it's a complex math Muay Thai equation.
And then you got all the guys who drop out.
Yeah.
Right?
You got
man. Hey, let me say this. Our last show, nobody dropped out. No, we didn't have one. The only 2 injuries that happened like maybe a month prior or 3 weeks prior was Leo was supposed to defend his title, and then somebody got hurt. So then I didn't want to push a matchup too late. And that's my brother. And then one of my other guys, Pedro, his opponent got hurt 2.5 weeks out. So it happened to 2 of my guys. But everybody else that put their name in the hat, they did not budge.
Man.
Like, no pullouts. Everybody made weight. It was crazy. Like, I was surprised.
That's nice. That's nice and smooth.
Hopefully the next one's the same way.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's always annoying when you got the card set and then boom, you lose the main event.
Yeah, and then you got to
Like mine.
rematch fucking twice, pretty
Nice,
much.
yeah, I just moved on with the show
Yeah,
goes on.
there's only so much you can do, but I'm on these guys' ass. I'll send messages. It's like, yo, like, everything good? And, man, here I go venting about promoting. But, so when I've had guys on shows, what's the promoter ask? Hey, how's ticket sales going? Like, that's the first thing they ask us. For me, it's more like I don't give a shit. If I sent you 40, hopefully you sell all 40. If not, whatever. How you feeling? How's the weight? Everything good? Like, training good? All right, cool. Can't wait to see you. Like, that's what a promoter should do, is figure out, or a matchmaker at least, how are you feeling? You may be fighting one of my boys. Are you good? Cool, let's go.
Yeah, not add more stress to them. How many tickets are you selling?
Like,
They're
who
like,
gives a
oh
shit?
shit, that's right. I got to sell some tickets.
Like, and that's one thing about, when I'm behind the scenes and it's not my lady or my brothers, I get to see all the numbers. And it's like, we're getting a database. It's like, oh, this person's fought on my show 3 times. They sold 30 tickets each time. Because this he's someone that we can build eventually. If he wants to go pro, we can definitely bring him up.
Mm-hmm.
So it's when you see the numbers behind it and you see who's trying, like it makes a difference.
Yeah, I think it's fun to sell tickets, and like, I'm a kind of a salesman at heart, but I think it's like
I love it.
part of being the fighter. You know, you want to be the guys who make it on the UFC. They are a character of themselves.
Right.
You know, they put on a persona, and you know, I kind of, you know, we've talked about that before. You know, who's your alter ego for your fight? You know, I'll go through this thing, like I'll feel, you know, whether I'm, you know, what's my mood, you know, am I fucking, you know, listening to hyphy music, you know, am I listening to smoother music? You know, it's like, what was my train of thought through that fight camp, and you know, who did I want to be? And I think that's a fun part of the whole act, the whole show.
For me,
it is a show.
It was just I love the pressure. So I want everybody to come watch. Like, come watch me do this.
Sure. Yeah.
I love that. Like, just everybody.
It makes you want to win more.
I won when I won my amateur title. It was in Fresno. I sold over 100 tickets to Fresno from Sacramento.
Damn, that's
I'm
crazy.
telling everybody, yo. But then when Jarris fought sold like 90 tickets to Fresno.
That's
Wow.
a
So
lot.
it's replicable.
Yeah.
You know, if I could do it, they can do it.
Yeah.
And I told them the same thing. It's like, if you're gonna win or lose, like, do it in front of everybody. Who cares?
Yeah.
Like, it's yours anyways. You know, like, so I love the pressure. That's why I like selling tickets.
For sure.
Yep.
When you got the big crowd there, makes it different.
Absolutely. Yeah, that one, the Kelani, what's his name? The dude with the dreadlocks, the white guy.
Keelan.
Keelan.
Yeah, he fought, I don't know what fight card that was, where they were in like some pretty big ass stadium. It was his last one, I think.
Fight night at the Tech.
Yeah, that looked cool.
That's like the hockey stadium, I believe. Where
The new San Jose Sharks, right? Or,
San Jose
What?
hockey
or
stadium.
it might be their minor league.
Yeah, it had to
Yeah.
have been small. It definitely wasn't an NHL
It's
stadium.
big, though. It's like 4,000 people.
Yeah.
Yeah, it looked cool. I mean, that's the
San Jose's big. Like
Yeah.
when I was living in the South Bay, like San Jose, it has so many venues. so
there's
many
a lot of-
complexes. A lot of money down there.
a lot of stuff going on there. Yeah.
Well, Elon Musk, Silicon Valley.
There you
Well,
go.
speaking of San Jose and traffic, let's talk about carpool lanes.
Oh my God.
This has been on my mind for probably a week now. I've
Ugh.
put a couple of rants on Instagram. So they're gonna start a toll lane from Sacramento to Dixon, and they're gonna start charging people to use the carpool lane like they do in the Bay Area.
The Causeway overpass?
Yeah, they're gonna widen the causeway and then finally put in a new lane or two down to Dixon. And I don't know. I was like, I've been thinking about this before I knew all this was going on. You know, driving around in traffic, and you got this fully open lane. And this is a stupid rant, but you know, I'm like stoned coming home from work, and I'm like, why the fuck isn't this open for all of us to use? Like, who's actually calling their friend and saying, hey, let's meet at 7:30 at Starbucks to carpool over to, you know, wherever. Like, nobody does that. We all love our cars, our music, you know, whatever we do in there. And then you have this fully open lane, and then all this congestion. And it's just like a money grab. You know, we've already paid for these roads to be built and to be maintained with our tax dollars. And then they want to charge us now with a toll lane to get in it. And it's like $1 a mile. So, I mean, if you wanted to drive from Sacramento in that thing by yourself with a fast track to Vacaville or wherever, you know, that's like 25 miles. That's $25
Every day.
every day. And back?
And back.
You know, is that $50? Do you get I don't know what, like, is it, you know, I'm naive to the whole situation. I'm just like, you know, a country boy up in Penryn going, man, what the fuck?
Yeah.
But, yeah, I don't know. Like, and what's the statistics, I wonder, I'm like, how many people illegally use the carpool lane?
I do.
A lot. I do.
Yeah, is it 99% of the
Probably.
people?
You know-
100% of everybody has gotten into the carpool lane illegally?
When I was going to the weigh-in for Rising Star 6, I was running late, and I thought it was at the Elks Lodge in Carmichael, but it wasn't. It was on the other side of Sacramento, so it was going to take like an hour, and it was in traffic, so I jump in the carpool lane, you know, and I'm pretty good at it because I used to drive professionally, but I was going to chalk it up. Like, if I get pulled over, I'm going to be like, sir, I got a title fight. You know, give me the ticket. But it didn't happen. I went around traffic, and then I moved back, and then I was there on time, luckily. Well, 10
Yeah.
minutes late.
I mean, it just, I know it's, you know.
No, I used to do this other thing. I used to commute, so I made a mannequin I put my gym bag and I stood it up, long side. And then I used to play a lot of soccer. I used to have several soccer balls in the truck. So then I used the soccer ball
Like
as
a
the
head.
head, and then I put a hat on it, and then I
just smash
buckled it into the seat and everything.
So it looks like somebody's all buckled in.
And then here I go, I'm driving through Sac on my commute, and then there's no traffic in the carpool lane. I'm cruising past hundreds of vehicles.
I can hear the cops right now watching this podcast going,
They love it. They love it. No, listen.
They know, man.
So then a motorcycle CHP unit pulls up next to me, and then he's like on the loudspeaker. He's like, "Get out of the carpool lane."
Nice.
Nice. The soccer ball wasn't fooling him, but he didn't pull me over.
It almost worked.
He's like, "Nice."
Yeah.
Good try.
He respected the
Yeah.
wittiness. Hell yeah.
But you got to do what you got to do. That might save you 30 minutes.
Or $30.
Yeah.
Yeah, or $30. Yeah, right. But so when I was in France, they had their.
Wait a minute, you were in France?
Yeah, this was 2015. I was like
Damn.
25. Yeah, I did like a whole tour around Europe. It was
shit.
super cool. So we were driving around in France, and they like every half mile or something like that. There was quite a bit. You'd be in the toll lane or whatever lane they called it, the lane, and they'd be talking or taking photos of your license plate. And
Wow.
so like if you didn't have the whatever their system was, but it would like hit you with the license plate, and I was like, damn, that's gonna happen. That's
Yep.
gonna happen here. And basically, it's
is.
the same thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's
so
the future.
it's just another reason to love California, but the weather's sick.
So, Coach, congratulations on Billy Brand's entry into the Contender Series. That was big
Thank you.
news.
Thank you.
Is that your guy?
It's my guy, yeah.
Oh shit. Yeah,
I've
he's
known him
he's
for a
great
long
to watch.
time. I've known him for a long, long time. He was like 14 when I met him, but he came over to me right before he turned pro as an MMA fighter. And we've been together ever since. And I turned him down before that because when people come to my gym from a different team, I say no. Like, nah, you know what? People come in with different ideas. They come in with different like training scenarios, and I told him, you know what, man? Like the first time he reached out, I said, nah, it's just my team only. If you're dropping in, I don't do it. And then he came back later, was like, man, he trained with my buddy Jake for a while, and Jake recommended him to me. And he was like, you know what, like, I think Lino can kind of take you to whatever level. Jake was kind of bouncing between 2 or 3 different gyms, I think. Jake's a great coach, too. But I think
Jake who?
Duong Dara, small Laotian
Oh,
guy.
yes.
Good coach,
Yeah.
great pad holder.
MMA Gold, I think.
Yeah,
now.
yeah, he was over there, and then I think he was going to Legacy at the time.
Hmm.
So he was kind of bouncing, trying to make some money. I mean, like all of us, and so he told Billy, come to me. He's more stable. He has a gym. And then this second time, I laid out all these rules. And then Billy, and then he brought his lady over, and she's cool. Like, I'll let her train, but Billy was the one. I was like, look, I'm not coaching you. You're a part of my team. If I give you anything, you have to give back. And it's like, Billy was like, dude, whatever. And it's like, we have an agreement. And I've had other MMA guys come since and ask me if they can get, like, the Billy deal. Like, no, that's my little brother. Like, he gets that. Like,
So you're his striking coach?
yeah,
Okay.
yeah. Muay Thai coach.
Right.
I don't want to call it striking. Do Muay Thai.
But the
yeah.
Muay Thai coach,
Yeah.
yeah. Okay. Because obviously he's getting wrestling and jiu-jitsu
He's doing
with
wrestling
somebody else.
at Alpha Male, and then he's doing his jiu-jitsu with Andrew Kerr up at Nexus Jiu-Jitsu in Folsom.
Oh, yeah. Andrew's, I trained with Andrew when he first moved into town at EDH.
Yeah, he's dope, man.
He's a cool guy.
Good dude.
Yeah, he is a really good dude. Yeah.
So have you been out there to Vegas with the UFC group?
Yeah, we just went recently. We came back the same week. It was rough. It was the same week of Rising Stars.
Oh.
I came back on Tuesday morning. No, I came back Monday night. And we had a Rising Stars on Friday. So it was
Busy week.
Busy week.
But you got to see that whole inner workings. Do you see the PI and everything?
I didn't go to the PI. I went to the Apex.
Oh, yes. Yeah,
I had
even
to
that.
catch my plane.
That's
Yeah.
cool because that's going to go away.
Is it really?
Yeah,
What?
I mean, they're gonna. At least that was. I think this is the last year they're gonna be doing the
That'd be
Apex.
Oh.
They just
Well,
don't
might not need it
They
anymore.
just don't need it
The
anymore.
Apex?
That was a COVID
Oh,
thing.
wow.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was kind of just.
Well, you know what? When I went in there, I thought it was just a building that people fight out of. But it's like a headquarters for like, they have like a training room with all these cameras in it. They have like meeting rooms and interview rooms and like all these staff rooms. And I was putting all this like numbers in my head. I'm like, the amount of money they're putting in just to market like these guys that aren't even on the show yet is crazy. Like they're asking Billy like these interview questions, and hopefully they come out and you can see what he said. But I'm sitting here listening, and I'm just like, yo, they want to really see if these guys are relatable. I can see why a casual fan gets into MMA. Like they serve it to you on a platter, and it really gave me some ideas for Muay Thai.
Well, you know what? The years I worked with the UFC was one of the things that inspired me to do this kind of thing in the Muay Thai scene. I just noticed all of that they were doing, and then I would come back to the Muay Thai shows, and none of that was happening.
Right.
But now we see an explosion. Like, obviously, I wasn't the only one thinking of that. There's been all these podcasts popping up, and then people doing on-scene interviews, and every guy with a camera and a microphone, you know. But, yeah, the UFC and seeing the media team and getting to work with them kind of showed me what needs to be done in Muay Thai.
And it's not, I don't think it's hard. I mean, yeah, it takes some time and some energy, but I don't think it's that hard. We're just not trying.
Yeah.
We're not trying at all.
Yeah.
You know what I don't like, because I see it at our shows, and I had to tell some people to chill, is like the photographers. Like, we pay Gabe. Gabe's my guy. He's my number one dude. I prepay him for the photos, and then we just post them on Facebook whenever he's done. Other photographers will jump in and try to take photos and sell them to the fighters.
Oh.
I don't play that
No,
shit.
fuck
like,
that.
Yeah.
Like I seen one earlier. I didn't say anything. I'm gonna just, if he posts it again, I'm gonna say something. But it's like, I don't need to be like gangster about it or nothing. It's just, dude, like, you came to the show, you got a general admission wristband, and you're trying to make your way to the ring
And make money
to
off
make money.
Yeah.
And I'm giving it to him for free. Like, don't be a piece of shit, man.
Yeah.
Like, so
Yeah, that's like
I had that-
soliciting their business
Just
to
leeching.
your business.
Yeah.
It's leeching. I had
And
that.
I don't want to pay for, like, you took photos of me
Right.
while I'm fighting. Why the fuck am I going to pay you for your fucking photos? I didn't ask you to come
and
here.
I didn't ask you.
No, yeah. And then you're knocking on my door and DMing
That's
me
crazy.
and like, hey, you want to buy the photos? I
just tagging everybody so you can see it and then try to buy it. Like,
Yeah.
I don't like that, man.
No.
Yeah, I encountered that a couple times when I did my show. But everyone wants to get the shot and get a
Yeah.
piece of the pie. You
And
know?
I tell them, you know, you can go to your seat and take everything you want from there, but don't sell it. Like, don't do that.
Yeah.
Because I got my guy. Like, why am I paying Gabe? Like, so you can then make money on the back end? Like, don't do that.
Yeah.
Right.
I don't think that's right. And
Nah.
we've been doing that since our first show. Is trying to have it to where fighters just worry about fighting. We even give them the shorts. Like, don't even worry about what you're gonna wear. We're gonna give you everything.
Mm-hmm.
And so guys come in and try to take some. I don't like that.
Mm-hmm.
How do you know Willie Myers?
It's my boy, man. Like, he came to my gym a few years ago.
Uh-huh.
And he's a dope dude to be around, man. Just one of the nicest guys. Loves
He's a
to
cool dude,
spar.
right?
He's cool.
He's like talented on so many levels.
you know, and he's so humble about it.
I want to have him on the podcast because
Bring
he's
him
got
on,
some
dude.
crazy stories.
He's
like,
had some injuries, so he's been out of the gym for a little while. But
dude,
like,
he's injured like all the time.
all the time.
All the time with like the most. This is the guy that I told you that flew off of.
Yeah.
I don't know what, like
Something
a
gnarly.
bridge or something crazy, and then impaled himself in rebar, and it went through like basically like up his ass, through his hip,
Gosh.
and like came up like and
Had
missed
some head trauma
all
stuff
his
too. Like,
vital organs.
It was rough.
Could you imagine sitting?
What kind of accident was it?
Bicycle.
Oh, yeah,
he's a
yeah,
road
I know who you're
cyclist.
talking about.
Yeah, that's why
Yeah.
it was
He's a sprinter.
Yeah, I know who you're talking about.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Cool dude. And
That's like a worst nightmare is to fly into a ditch and rebar,
rebar.
impale.
And then you're
like Dracula.
sitting there with the fucking erection of rebar, and you're like, "That's not my dick." What? And then somebody has to pull you off of that. Like, oh,
yeah,
man,
that's
that's nuts.
Let's bring him on.
Yeah, we should. We definitely
He's
should
like-
bring him on.
He
And
has
he's
stories too, and he's like me. He'll talk. Like,
yeah,
he got
he's
ADHD. He'll talk.
he's a killer massage therapist. He like works for the Kings, travels around on their airplane and stuff.
Yeah, I had some shoulder stuff from the holding pads, and then I told him about it, and he just got me down. 2 or 3 sessions was just like better than ever.
Man, I need that.
He's a magician. Yeah,
My back and my neck.
my neck and my back.
Chris, are we good? I heard a beep. Now, did you guys see Godzilla?
The movie.
So there's a bunch of Godzillas that came out, but Godzilla -1. Did you see
I
the?
didn't see it.
Oh,
movie?
is that one of the newer ones that came out?
It's one of the newer ones.
No, I have
but
not.
it's the one that won the Oscar for effects, and they made this movie for a minimal amount, and they just kind of dropped it overnight on Netflix. Like it was in and out of the theaters, and you guys didn't see it?
I didn't
No,
see it.
I see it on this. I watched this thing like Look
I'm bad
Movie,
with
and
movies.
it's
all I watch is Star Wars.
advertised on there.
You're a Star Wars guy?
I just got into it like 3 years ago, but I watched
What?
it. I
Right.
swear.
Ah, lucky you.
Yeah, I
mean,
watch
there's
it
a
all
lot
the
to
time.
watch.
There's
But
a lot to watch.
Did you start
But-
from like the first episode?
So
not
I-
episode 1, but
I had
was
took
that,
my kids to
episode
Disney.
4?
Like, you know, I like taking them to Disney. That way they can feel like it's their little day. I mean, we talked some shit about that last time.
Oh
but-
my gosh.
But I'm always in the gym, and they just follow me everywhere. So I asked them where they wanted to go. We're hanging out in Star Wars land. I'm calling everybody a nerd. And then like, and then I
You
guess
nerd.
at the time they had like the biggest convention in the hotel we were in, the Hilton Anaheim.
oh, so
And
you
it
had a
was
bunch
huge.
of Comic Cons.
So
Bunch
I'm
of
just-
Star Wars
There's
nerds.
like life-size R2D2s just
Bro.
driving around, and I'm telling my lady like they're all nerds, and she's kind of more level-headed than I am. She's like, "Well, just watch the movie. Maybe you'll like it." And I'm like, "No way." And then I went home and I watched it, and I was like, "This shit's sick. Like this is like."
You're
this
a
is the
Star Wars
best."
nerd now.
I'm nerded out.
So the
Lightsabers
originals,
and everything.
Well, what was
the
the first
original
one you-
movies, right?
The originals. Yeah, I don't like the Disney stuff. I
early
watched
ones-
some of it. I
No,
watched
what is
them for
original to you new to knowing Star Wars though?
4, 5, 6.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah,
Yes.
Return of the
4,
Jedi.
5,
77.
Oh,
Or what was it?
The
Convo.
Mark Hamill stuff.
Yes.
I watched that stuff.
Yes.
the
And-
Mark Hamill
But
stuff.
no Godzilla.
Do you watch Star
That's
Wars?
the first one, right? The first 3. That's what's the first one
Well,
called?
the first 3
You got
is
Return
4,
of the
5,
Jedi.
6.
That's the third one.
Well, the
Empire Strikes Back is the second one.
A New
no,
Hope.
A New Hope is
A
number
New Hope
4.
is the first one. I went backwards on that. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Those are the originals.
Obi-Wan.
Yeah, those are the ones.
But
And then
never-
I watched the first 3.
Okay.
But never. You guys haven't. Have you ever seen any of the Godzilla movies?
No, okay. You've been on this massive Godzilla kick, like posting.
Well, no, I
Godz-
haven't. But the movie that just came out
You've
was
talked about it for nonstop, like
He's
3
been
days.
posting about it. I see it on your stories, too.
Well, because there's something to it. But also, this movie as a piece of cinema is important because they made it for like $15 million, which is they make these movies for like $100 million, and then. But it's also interesting that
So
there's
that's relatively cheap. 15.
It is.
Okay.
And it won an Oscar for effects. But the other thing is there's been 70 Godzilla movies. 70.
Wow.
So, and then you guys haven't
70?
seen.
Holy
Well, you haven't
shit.
seen a one. And then the
No,
one
I
that just
haven't.
came out. So,
this looks
Godzilla
good.
does many things. But
Takashi Yamazaki.
Godzilla does an atomic breath. Are you guys familiar with this?
I am.
Godzilla.
Oh, yeah, like he
Somehow
breathes
my
fire.
kids know this. I don't
No,
know
no,
why.
it's not fire. See, Godzilla is atomic.
Okay.
Right, he was some
Radioactive.
kind of lizard, but because of the tampering with atomic weapons, we've kind of created this monster from the depths, right? And then when Godzilla's being attacked at his greatest, when they're bombarding him, he does this atomic breath, which is famous, and you see it reoccurring through the different Godzilla movies. But in this movie, when he does it, and you'll see it here in a second,
This looks sick.
It looks like scenes from the atomic bomb, when the bombs were dropped on Japan.
She just smacked her with her snotty handkerchief.
Watch, let's see if we see it.
Oh, she's so abusive. Is that it?
Well, that's like the shockwave blast from it. Chris, we need the atomic breath.
I don't even have Netflix.
You
Really?
don't need it.
Yeah.
Lookmovie.com. It's look
Yeah, you
on,
send that to me.
on Google. It's like lookmovie.ru or something like that. It's probably some Russian site, but
Anyways,
great.
when
All
he's
free.
when he's being attacked, he does this atomic breath in kind of defense, right?
What?
There's
That's
different
sick.
versions of it right there.
okay.
See, I've seen this. My kids watch stuff like this.
Yeah. So basically, on my story, I was posting the different versions of the famous Godzilla atomic breath, and I just thought it was interesting because I'm not really a Godzilla
Wow,
nerd.
there's so many. I mean, those are awful to be honest with you. Most of them. Look at
Well,
the.
But there's all these different genres from cartoons to the more gory Shin Godzilla. But I just thought it was interesting because there's been so many of them made, and then kind of researching a little bit deeper, you learn about the travesties that Japan's been through, from the atomic bombs to the tsunamis. Remember the tsunamis?
Crazy.
Even recently, but like the 2011 tsunami that hit Japan, they had like a 9.0 earthquake, and then that tsunami hit like, 30% of the island.
Right.
And that has to do with how important Godzilla is to the culture, right? It kind of represents these natural disasters that the Japanese people are too familiar with. There's
the atomic blast.
I don't know if I ever watched one to the end. Do they usually like kill him after? Like, who's the good guy here? Is it
Yes.
Godzilla?
Well, there's different versions. The original Godzilla's the bad guy. He comes from the depths, but he's something that we created, and it's kind of Mother Nature's wrath come back to bite you. But this one was really, really good, and people that have never seen a Godzilla movie, they should see this one. This one's a different one. I'm not sure. This is like King of the Monsters or something. This is basically showing the different versions of the breath. But I'm kind of into going to the movies again. I stopped going to the movies for years, and that's something that I take my wife to the movies, and that's something that I've been doing.
Movies have gotten better in the last year.
I've been talking about
They were pretty
trying
bad
to
for a while.
slow life down. The pace of life has gotten so fast that people don't even watch full episodes of TV shows anymore. They're all like little clips. Even my students, the boxing students, I'm like, watch the whole fight. They don't.
Highlights.
They don't.
4 minutes.
Sure.
So we're going back to watching a show in its full format, or even going to the movies where you have to leave your screen and go, with the other people and see it in that experience where you can't just get on your phone halfway through it.
Yeah.
And be distracted. And I remember before the phone, that was important. And now, having the access to the phone, it just makes it different. When was the last time someone has sat down and like watched a whole movie in their in entirety?
It's tough to do.
Dude, I
sometimes.
fall asleep.
Yeah,
Right.
I
fall asleep.
That's one problem for sure. It's like
I've taken my
and then
kids,
finding
I fall
something on
asleep.
Netflix, you're like, what are we gonna watch?
But it's just like it's an older form of entertainment, but that's just like boxing. I really try to at the gym here. I really try to get people to come to a live fight. And last time at your show, we got quite a few members here to go to the live fight, and people when they go, they love it because it's entertainment.
Right.
And it's not entertainment you're going to get artificially through your phone. It's different when you're there in person. There's an audience, and it's like from a different time, kind of like a movie or watching a sitcom. When you go to a fight, it's like going like 100 years ago. There's the violence, there's the drama, there's the mob, heckling.
The walkout, the
Yeah.
intensity of the next fight,
And
the
man,
break where you go fill up your beer.
Yeah, there's nothing like it. And then it's
I
really
love it.
it's really so exciting. I mean, these movies can be exciting when you go see them, but nowhere near like a live fight.
No.
And so much to where people can't go to a live fight. Like the parents of the fighters, sometimes it's so exciting. They get too much
That's like
dopamine,
my
where
mom.
they can't even handle it. But other people, it's like you can't get that feeling anywhere else.
Yeah,
and it costs about the same. Like you buy the ticket for $20, you get some beer and a popcorn. It is $50 for the movie. But yeah, any of you guys that haven't been to a live fight and you're in the martial art world, it's part of your lifestyle, put that on your bucket list. You gotta go, and it's happening all the time. Great time in old school entertainment. What else are we watching? I was talking about Houdini, and everyone knows Houdini. They know his name, but not that many people remember Houdini. They don't remember the tricks that he did. And I was talking about the tricks of the boxer. Like the Thai boxer's known to be able to do these magic tricks, like hitting people with their shin, to a normal person, that's not normal. So it's kind of a trick. But that's kind of what Houdini did, right? He didn't do like
Chris, pull up some Houdini.
abracadabra.
Let me
He
see
did
some
like
Houdini.
Houdini did feats of bravery and strength, like physical feats, and he
Yeah.
would do it in public. He would even do it in front of the newspaper office. He would hang himself off a building, so then they would have to put him in the newspaper. But I feel like when you go to a Muay Thai fight or a fighting event, you're seeing something similar. You're seeing an act of bravery in a physical feat that normal people can't do. And then the audience is stunned because you get to see a little kid do it. You get to see girls do it. And obviously you get to see the men doing it. And then, the ability to like not show pain and the stoic expression.
And I tell my people, like, the first time I went to a live fight, it was in Fairfield. And I didn't have anybody that I was rooting for. I just went with somebody that knew somebody. I was already training for like 2-3 months. And my cousin went with me, and he's looking up, and he's just like, man, like, I don't know if we'll ever get there. And I'm like, fuck you, dude. Like, that's what I want to do that for the rest of my life. And I'm still doing it, 17 years later, from watching that one amateur show. Back then they didn't wear shin guards. It was just the headgear and gloves. And then I remember thinking, like, I want that. Like, whatever that is, I want that forever. And, like, one of my cousins, he ended up fighting too, but he was like, bro, like, that's like, I don't think we'll do that. Like, oh, fuck, yeah, we are.
It is crazy to like be out of the sport and then think about getting into it, and then you see the ring and you're like, what does it take to get in there? And then you start training, you do like a smoker or a PKB, and you're like, oh, I fought. But then you realize, you're like, well, I fought, but
Well, about
then you gotta
Houdini? They're gonna handcuff him and throw him off a bridge.
all right, here's
And I need you guys to come downtown to watch me do this later. Look at him. And then Houdini was a smaller man, but he was ripped, man. He would take off those old those suits and then
look at how many people are there to watch.
Handcuff me, throw me off a bridge.
Look
at it.
Everyone's
That's a
like,
sellout.
I'm gonna come see this guy
That's
die.
the Rising Stars.
Lino,
event
what's the
right
gate on that?
They wanted to see him.
there. Good.
But yeah, this is the kind of entertainment. But I think when people go to a live fight, it's feeding this kind of thing where everything's so artificial through the screen. To see something real in front of your face like that,
It's like
it's exciting.
Jack Johnson fight.
Yeah. And then you're next. Did he get the cuffs off that fast?
That was fast.
Well, the other one where they shackle him, lock him in a box, dump him over.
Yeah, that was too easy.
Do you think because they didn't have phones or devices, like,
Hell
that
yeah.
shit's hella fun?
Hell
right? Like,
yeah.
Because, I mean, I'll just stream it from my house.
I mean, the things that we did without the phones, I sent you guys this video of this kid running onto a train, climbing the ladder, and it was like going across the river, and he just made it and like jumped off. And I sent it to him, and I was like, this is the kind of shit that we did when we were kids. Like, we didn't have the train, but my buddy Logan, he jumped out of the back of a moving truck off of Salmon Falls Bridge. And, like, thankfully, we didn't have, videos on that. That would have been pretty cool to get, but, the other things that we were doing probably shouldn't have been on film. But, yeah, I'm glad that, we lived out of that
It was
era.
nice. It was nice when there wasn't cameras everywhere.
Yeah, it takes the fun out of a lot. And arguments, when you'd argue about something, and you'd be like, no, it's this way, and then you just end up, 10 minutes later just forgetting about it. Now we have to, well, hold on, let me just chat GPT this, and then we have all the facts on it.
So
it is different.
Yeah.
So Houdini died from a guy punching him in the stomach. And I always thought that was interesting. Houdini used to do
In a skit?
this stunt. Yeah, he used to do this thing because he was small, right? And he would do feats of strength. So one thing he would do was let guys punch him in the abdomen, like we do. But he's a little, so they would get like a rugby player or like a big athlete to do it. So it was more impressive. But he had appendicitis, and the guy ruptured his appendix. And then he died, a few days later.
Damn, look
A
at this
normal
one.
man.
Yeah, but I heard when he got sick after, he was a typical man that he
probably-
didn't go to the doctor.
Mm.
He's,
Look at this.
nah.
This is crazy.
This is the one he did in front of like the newspaper
Good
office.
thing he's white. That wouldn't fly. I'd bet you they'd still all be there. What the fuck? Is he going to get out and fall?
No, he's in a straitjacket. So he's going to get out of the straitjacket. Voila.
Dun, 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 dun.
Boom. And then, yeah, I wouldn't even let you string me up by my feet like that. I don't
No.
even like heights. You know?
Have you guys ever done that inversion table where it like hangs you upside down?
No.
And it like stretches your back out, but it rushes all the blood to your head,
But yeah,
and you feel like you're gonna pass out.
the entertainment. You look at the old boxing matches, and yeah, the gate there was huge. You know, it was a spectacle. It was a show. I feel like there's a lot of shows popping up, kind of like a Muay Thai gold rush. But some
I
of them
like the sound of that.
Some of them are showcasing Muay Thai better than others, and going to get the attention of not only the Muay Thai community that goes to all the shows, but new fans. People that wouldn't normally come to a show are coming out to Rising Stars.
We should do a Muay Thai Gold Rush weekend retreat in Coloma.
What's that?
Coloma.
I know, but what's the retreat?
Oh, I don't know. You know, just
people.
a way to
Make
get
them
money off of people who want to travel here to see you guys.
Run
I
them
mean,
up a
have
hill.
You literally got two like world class coaches. You just are like, hey, we're gonna
Yeah.
do a
Sure.
retreat.
Charge $2,200.
You know,
Yeah,
it was
and put them in tents.
Put them in a cabin.
give them a certificate.
Yeah.
It'd be like the fire festival. Yeah,
3 days,
Just
teach you everything you
E-
need.
Ezra's standard.
The double thumbs up.
Yeah, the double thumbs.
Very good.
No, you know, at
Good.
first,
Very good.
that was a worry of mine when we first started doing this. Again, it's like I didn't mind not making money on it because I didn't know if people were going to come to it. Like, I love Muay Thai. You guys love Muay Thai, but do random people love Muay Thai? It's hard, man. It was hard to get people to go to it. And then, I mean, it worked. It worked. I have friends of mine. Track 7 helped, though. Like, being that it's a brewery, people already go to it, and now you pay $45 cover charge pretty much, and you can drink and watch fights.
Yeah.
Buddies of mine, I work with them. I hadn't talked to them in years. This might have been 10, 12 years I hadn't talked to them. They came to the show, and they're like, bro, we've been to the UFC at Golden 1. We paid $500. We paid $75 for ringside. We're right here drinking beer. This is better than UFC.
Yeah, it's fights at a brewery.
Bro,
Well,
they've
it's
gone to every show since.
such a good idea.
And it's just the people that don't even do Muay Thai are going.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I think that was one thing I focused on. You know, I wanted to have really good fights and represent the Muay Thai community, but I wanted to make sure people had a good experience, because you get these people, they might only come to one fight, right?
Right.
If they come and they have a great time, they're going to come back. And they're going to tell their friends. People that didn't go going to feel like they missed out because they're
They'll
going
go
to
to the
hear.
next one.
Yeah, and yeah, I think that's important. You know, of all the shows that are going on, it's Muay Thai. So what are they showing? What are they showing the people? You know, how is Muay Thai being shown to the public? As far as growing the sport, if it's going to grow, it has to be shown in a good light. It's easy to make it look bad.
It is, and I think it's a lazy way of trying to promote, because it would be easier if we didn't do the things that we did. Promoting a show is not hard. I don't even want people to think that us doing it the right way, or I think the right way, is hard. It's not. Like, I do this while I have a family, while I run a gym, while I still train fighters. It's not hard at all. People try to dissuade me from doing it at first. Oh, it's never gonna work. Oh, you should do PMTs first. Oh, you should hold this first. You don't know how to run a show. We did it, and it's like, it's not hard at all. Like, it's not hard. You know, dealing with certain teams, dealing with certain fighters that pull out or get injured, that sucks, but it's not hard. It's not hard. I think if I didn't do some of the things that we worked on, then I think it'd be a lot easier. If I didn't try to promote, like, Muay Thai the right way, it'd be a lot easier. Putting mismatches together, that's easy.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Can I make a recommendation?
Yeah.
So
I can't grant it all the time.
yeah, no, definitely,
I'll
definitely.
hear it.
So the Track 7 one, if you had some like carpet in the back while we're warming up, or like artificial turf, somewhere to like, cause like when we were warming up on the cement, you know, and it's like slick as fuck and a little cold and. You know,
how was the last one, Coach? The was it slick too? The tile?
At Elks Lodge?
Yeah.
No, it was fine. But also I had my shoes on.
True.
The fighters weren't complaining. Also, the canvas was better.
Yeah.
It seems like it's been used a few times. So the first time we used it, it was the guys didn't want to kick. Where this time they felt fine.
I had some mats. I had a bunch of mats in my garage that I thought about bringing. I forgot to bring them to the last event, but nobody complained.
Yeah, I told Ryan too. I was like, hey, do you have any like artificial grass or something you can go grab just like a rollout and you know put it on each side? And he's like, yeah. I mean, he even said, you know, he's like, if there's anything else that like we can do. But yeah, it was just like that was like I really liked it being in Sacramento. I thought in the brewery was really cool. I know Ryan, and it was such a cool like. To see the two of you like Muay Thai into my old beer industry.
I kind of was just dealing with the managers there. I haven't really met him too much.
Oh, you haven't met Ryan?
Maybe I met him once. I met his wife a couple times.
Yeah, dude, Ryan's great. Ryan Graham, owner of Track 7. I've known him since. So my family opened up a brewery in El Dorado Hills, Miraz Brewing Company, back in 2013. And that was like around the time of the boom of craft beer. I think Track 7 opened in like 2010 maybe or something like that, a couple years before us. But it was really fun because back in those days in the beginning, in like the pioneer craft beer days, it was very, it wasn't like buttoned up and put together like it is more so now. We were all a bunch of, you know, I was young. I was only like 23, so I was, you know, maybe it was a little different in my head. But a lot of the people had left a corporate job or some kind of structured job to just go brew beer. You know, they were brewing beer in their garage, and then they were like, you know, I could go do this. And it wasn't a whole lot of money to open up a brewery. You can get real creative. My dad took some dairy equipment and basically just upgraded his brew system that he was doing at home, his like more beer kit, and you know, made a bigger one. And that's what a lot of people were doing. Some people would go and spend the money on buying like a 10-barrel system or whatever like that. And so it was really cool because it was all these just people left like corporate America and were, you know, having drinks and talking and, you know, just shooting the shit, smoking weed in the parking lot. And, you know, it was really fun back in those days. And, you know, we traveled around all over, like you know, from Colorado to LA and doing all the different beer fests and stuff like that. And so anyways, I know him well from that, and like the Device guys, New Glory.
Device is good too. I like Device. Like Device is really good.
Yeah, good beer. Ken's you know, he's been running that place pretty good.
Yeah, that Track 7, the first time we were gonna have a show there, like I had some people talking shit on that. Like people were like, oh, like look at this guy trying to have a show at a brewery.
What?
Like,
Really?
What were they saying? Like
I heard it. I heard it a little
like
bit
the
about
alcohol.
You know, I don't know. Just people.
like there's not beer at fights.
Yeah, you know, like just people just. I don't know. I ignored it.
Well, your first one I remember going to, it was a dry fight.
It was
Yeah. Your Rising Stars
and that
won.
was. I think people don't understand. Like having a family-friendly show doesn't mean you can't have beer there.
Right.
It just the first two they couldn't do it.
Yeah.
Like you had to go through all these like licenses, and I didn't want to like piss them off at first.
Yeah.
And then we ended up finding Track 7, and that worked out. But that doesn't we've never had a problem. We've never had a fight. We've never had an issue.
No, breweries are really low key for them, and I mean I know when you bring the fights and the alcohol and stuff, but
it was better. It was
I'm
better,
telling you, I
and the
liked
vibe
it.
is good.
People
and the
know
beer was delicious.
Yeah.
And cheap, man. They didn't raise their prices. I
Yeah.
thought they were gonna raise their price.
They were too cheap because we couldn't drive.
No,
We had two. We were twisted.
Yeah, man, those IPAs will get you.
But also beer, like
People know beer culture now.
Well, beer goes with Muay Thai. It's like peanut butter and jelly.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
It's like the main sponsors, like
Yep.
Leo, and you go to
Sing Hao.
Thailand. Yeah, it's
That's
all
why I
over
was
the ring.
so stoked to get on it. I was like, who doesn't want to go watch fucking fights in a brewery, drinking beer next to the tanks? You know, you can.
Great partnership with,
Yeah.
and that's an awesome venue. And then the family environment's great.
Totally.
Yeah.
The photos looked cool with the
But
stainless in the back.
I always think it's funny when like people will hate or talk shit on like what we're trying to build. Like I'm not trying to find a small venue forever. I'm just kind of like hermit crabbing it until we can get into like Golden One Center or something. Like I'm gonna
Memorial,
push.
baby, Memorial.
Memorial's a good one too, but they don't have parking, man. Like that's a rough one for me.
That is.
You got to just park somewhere in the
Somewhere,
area.
right?
They got the public
It's
park,
true.
you know, or the pay parking. But
Well, I just hate doing that. That's one of the
That would be
criteria.
awesome.
Like when I find a venue, is like, does it have free parking?
Mm.
Because for me, that's part of the family friendly part. 'Cause
Yeah.
now if you got to pay for tickets for your kids and you got to pay for parking, and then food, snacks, beer, it's a lot of money.
Yeah.
You know? So
Well, I respect that because there's not a whole lot you can do with your family that's affordable. Even going to the movies, like you said, you know, it's like you get a couple of tickets, some popcorn,
and
a
we let
beer
kids.
too.
I think was it like 6 and under, 7? They get in free.
Yeah.
You know, so it's like we want everyone to come out. Like I've been to shows. My kids are like 2 years old, and then they're like, no, they need to buy a ticket. So they're not gonna watch.
yeah.
Like I promise you.
Like I
she's
had
not-
to bring him here,
she's
man. I
not
can't leave him in
watching.
the car.
It's like, yeah, well, you know, like every butt's got to, like, I'll hold her. It's like, no, I'm sorry. And it's like, I know you're just trying to make your money. I ain't mad at you for it, but it's like, next time I'm just not going to bring my wife. You're going to just lose out on 3 tickets now.
Yeah.
So whatever.
And the kids always got to get some food, so you know you kind of account for them
Right.
buying a snack.
And even if they don't, for me, it's like, maybe that kid goes in there not wanting to watch, but then they do watch. And they're like, Mom, I want to do that.
And there you go again with the fucking right answer.
You know, but,
I mean,
but
dude.
that's just what it is. If you, it doesn't have to be my gym. But if they're from Elk Grove and they're like, Mom, like, what was that thing we watched? Could you take me to that? Or the kid gets bullied. The mom might be like, you know what? We watched that sport where that kid won that title. Take him to a gym.
Mhm.
Like, and that's how else are you gonna grow it? If you're just like charging everybody, now they leave with a bad taste. Like you said, first impression is everything. I'm paying for my 2-year-old, and I'm like, you know what? Fuck going to Muay Thai fights.
I'm never coming back
Yeah,
again.
I'm not going back.
Yeah.
That's it.
It's
I've
too
seen
expensive,
enough.
And some
and
of
it's
us don't
already
have
so
babysitters.
amateur. You know, it's an
Yeah.
amateur level, right? You can't expect to charge the same as that, like the, you know, A1 at Hard Rock Casino or something
Right.
like
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
You know,
Right.
you're not. You're in a specific venue. You're watching a specific
Well, you know,
show.
The money everywhere is going up. Like, and again, I don't want to sound like I'm hating on pricing, but like a PMT is like 35 to watch, and our amateurs are 45. It's like that. You know, I don't know. Take the money from who you want to take it from, but
And they're charging the fighters.
and they're charging. That.
Yeah. It's
It's yeah.
Like it's
And
it's
do you-
needed.
what
don't,
else do
don't
you-
get me wrong. Here goes my right answer. Right. It's needed. It is needed.
Yeah.
It is needed. It is very beneficial. All development fights are beneficial.
It's a good stepping
I don't
stone.
want to sound like I'm hating.
Yeah.
People deserve to be compensated fairly for whatever they do. It's just different when we come up from the smokers we didn't pay.
Mm-hmm.
So
I
it's
think
different.
all those little details and that level of understanding, you know, that's a big reason people want to be on your show and work with your promotion so much.
Mhm.
You know, is that little stuff like that.
Yeah.
People are gonna come back.
That's
you
why
know,
we wanted to highlight
and
you
they're
on
gonna
here.
bring their wife, and I feel safe bringing my kid, and it's awesome.
Good family event.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, there was a big breakthrough for California Muay Thai where California has allowed several different sanctioning bodies, other than the IKF, to sanction Muay Thai shows in the state of California. What are your guys' thoughts on that, Lino? I mean, you're deep into the business.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't know what to really think of it. You know, it's one of those things when things change. I don't really like change. People have asked me recently with all this news, like, are we going to switch sanctioning bodies? Is Rising Stars going to switch sanctioning bodies? As of right now, no. The Fields family and the IKF has treated it good so far. We may not agree with every decision of the judges sometimes, but as of right now, I'm cool with where I'm at, you know? And we'll see. Maybe things change, and then the other organizations, they do better. And again, it kind of goes back to what I just talked about, right? It's like I don't want to stick to one venue the same way I don't want to just stick to amateurs. Eventually, we'll be dealing with CSAC anyways. But for now, I'll deal with whoever treats me the best.
Right. I'm just interested to see what's going to happen because California is such a big market and Muay Thai is such a hot scene in California. So they really are going to be attacking. So, yeah, I want to see what kind of shows and what the officials and
Have they booked the first show yet? For when? Do they know what show that would be, like their pilot show?
not that I know of.
Okay.
I haven't seen anything. I've been seeing things where they want to get officials and people from the scene involved, and kind of what I was talking about on the last podcast where I was like, I can be a CSAC official. I can work for the commission, but that's actually a good idea, is to get, I don't know where we'd have the time, to do coaching and that, and then do refereeing or judging on the top. But
I got that. I got an email from, I don't know where I got it from. Somebody sent it to me, and it was judging for one of those organizations. I don't know what the guy's name was. It was like AUK something. But I signed up for it. I sent him an email.
Well, there's such a growth that they need people.
Right.
So
well, I just want to learn to see like what I don't really know enough about. Like I fight, but I really couldn't score a fight. I have no idea. I don't even really know.
I feel like I could.
He'll quiz me on, quiz.
I always do. I even score the exhibitions here.
Yeah.
And then he'll quiz us like, what scores more, leg kick or arm kick?
Well, I get them to score it too, so they're paying attention. It's an attention span thing.
Yeah.
I tell my guys,
he's working on it.
It's that rolling tally. You have to score your own fights. You know, like you have to learn if you're ahead or you're behind. Do you step back? Like I score everything.
Yeah.
If I'm watching your guys' fights, I'm scoring that.
Have to, yeah.
So what does it mean that CSAC and the IKF are both now in the California?
CSAC's been around. CSAC that's the pro division. That's like the California State Athletic Commission.
Okay,
so
they're going to be doing amateur stuff. What's the difference? The crossover now?
Go ahead.
So CSAC is California State Athletic Commission. So they oversee all those other sanctioning bodies that are putting on events. The IKF, the interesting thing for me is how did they have a monopoly on California where other sanctioning bodies couldn't do it? Because I don't know how long that's been a thing, but I remember when my brother won the world title at the Memorial Auditorium, it was ISKA. And that was an issue, actually. Mr. Fossum didn't like that, because we were IKF locals. And then my brother wanted the world title, and we felt like the world title was Francis Farley's belt, and that was an ISKA belt. So he went for that one. But something happened where IKF became the only ones that could have events. And then CSAC oversees everything. If it's pro, CSAC's involved. But now you got these other sanctioning bodies that are going to be looked at by CSAC. But
so they're allowing more than just the IKF.
Yes.
That's what we're.
Yes,
okay,
yes.
I missed the first part.
But IKF we've dealt with forever.
Right.
And they're getting better.
They are a lot better.
They're getting better, and more people are getting involved from the scene. And we know what to expect from the IKF. They've had the same group for a long time, and they're working on better in their game, and they're the ones that we've been dealing with for years. But I like that about you. You're loyal to your people. Why would we jump ship? Because there's a new show in town. Let's see what those guys have to offer.
Yeah, I'm paying attention. We'll see. If they can cut like my fees in half and then still offer the same sanctioning quality, then we'll argue it. But if it's just something new, I can't change.
Right.
I don't know it yet, and I don't know who's leading it, but it's like, what people are, who's the head judge, who's the head referee. It's like, I don't know this.
No one knows yet.
No one knows.
Yeah. But
that's a big deal. I mean, maybe
then,
if you had somebody who was organized by coaches and fighters, with a good deal, that might be enticing. But why would you go with the new guy on the block? I mean, you've already been doing it through the trials and errors with IKF, and they've been around. And
we dealt with them too. At first, I think it was hard for them to trust us, to know why I was trying to host the show. And I think now they understand, and they know why I'm doing it. So right now it works. It works. They believe and they trust in me, and then I trust in them to get to the weigh-ins on time, weigh everybody in on time, let them go eat. Be a little bit more hands-off on our shows. I don't know. I wouldn't jump for no reason other than if they're better, and then if they can cut costs.
Yeah, I'll be interested.
But they have to be better.
Yeah, I'll be interested to see. If they get a star-studded group of officials that really know their game, and they're scoring Muay Thai very consistently.
I could see something
that's what needs to happen.
Yeah,
and then
it could take off.
But then when there's competition, it's
It's good.
better for everyone.
Absolutely.
It keeps everyone honest.
Mhm.
And, yeah, I mean, you want to get better, but when the competitor's good as well, you got to step your game up.
Absolutely.
So it's good. It's good for the game. And,
Competition's good. That's the American spirit.
that's true.
Yep.
Yeah. Free market.
And then WBC's in it too, like, you know, but they go through CSAC, and then they put their sanctioning on top of that.
Yeah, I was wondering about that because they've been doing theirs for a while.
But they do pro-am shows, so I think
Mm-hmm.
that's kind of like I don't want to call it a loophole, but if you do a pro-am show, you can just kind of bring whatever sanctioning you pay, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah. How you going to get these star-studded judges and officials? You know, call me. You know, what's the compensation package look like?
Right.
I mean, I might do it just to help out, but it definitely takes some dedication and some skill. But yeah, we'd love to see the people behind the scenes having a nice education.
When we first had some like resistance on throwing shows, we're calling the Indian casinos. Like I was gonna just call like my most trusted like coaches, like you're judging the show. We'll just have it here and we'll hire our own people. Still have ambulances and everything in place, you know, but it's like we're just gonna call the people that are the elders and you're judging the show.
That's not a bad idea.
It's not a bad idea.
But you know, like since you know, obviously
That's some real American shit right there. We're gonna call the natives.
Yeah, we're gonna go
do it
off-
on their property.
Off the grid.
Yeah.
But it worked out. Like I said, the ICAP. I think it took a while for them to see my vision, and now I think they understand.
Yeah, you see it. You see the support, and man, what does that feel like? I mean, we're seeing this. I mean, Northern California has always had a very strong martial art scene and culture, but what's happening right now? It seems like it's extra potent in Northern California. Not that the rest of the country doesn't have strong Muay Thai, but it seems like this area is really cooking.
Well, did you see the shirts I did, the NorCal shirts?
Yeah.
Man, we took like 150 or 160. I had like 10 left. And that idea came about on this. This is the first Rising Stars. We didn't have one of my fighters on. And then I'm looking at like the Eventbrites. And a lot of my students are just like, they're buying tickets and putting a random fighter's name to give them credit. And I'm sitting here, because we had like 50 tickets at the gym and then we sold out. So I'm like, you know, go online, buy tickets. And then I'm seeing like 3 ringsides for like Jasmine Hodges. I was like, wait, this is my student buying that. Like 2 for Encho from one of my students. And then it's like 1 for Brian, like just random names. And I really thought about that. It's like, we don't need a team. Like my team doesn't need our team there. They will support NorCal Muay Thai. And I was telling my brother this. And then I'm just like, you know, NorCal Muay Thai. Like, no, you know, like, let's do something. And we did some shirts and it's like, I think people feel it. They feel that even if your team is not on, you can support Muay Thai that way.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just kind of like a me tipping my hat to like the explosion that's been going on. And I say we're leading the way. Maybe people would disagree with me, but I'm going to keep going.
I think the ones that would disagree just don't know enough. You know, they're not close enough to
It's all
Sacramento.
good. Let them disagree. Like, I'm going to keep going. Like, it's all good.
Yeah, definitely keep it going, man. It's a fun show. It's fun to be a part of, and it's fun to go to.
No, but people are watching and people are noticing as well. You know, and you know, it's your promotion. It's the talent pool of fighters. It's the support. Even the extra media stuff we're doing. I'm really proud of the collaboration. You know, of working together and not separating, but bringing Muay Thai together in all the different areas to really showcase what it can be. And yeah, I'm proud to be a part of it. I'm super happy I'm still in the game to witness all this.
Yeah, same. We talked about that whole COVID thing, you know, like it's yeah, I'm happy I'm still doing it.
Yeah. Someone was asking me, you know, who are the main Sacramento gyms? Like, you guys are talking a lot of shit. Sacramento Muay Thai, blah, blah, blah. So who are they? You know, who are the gyms? And, I mean, real quickly, it was me, you, and Sit Tong Sai. And you see not that there's not others, but the level of fighters over the last 10 years. And then the consistency and also the ability to compete with the rest of the country. You know, we feel like we're ready to fight whoever and
Right.
and put up Sacramento Muay Thai against L.A. or Texas or New York.
Yeah, some fantastic fighters between the two of your gyms. That's for sure.
Yeah.
But the rest of the gyms, you said me, you, and Josh, but the rest of the gyms are coming up. Like we
Yes.
see it with the Rising Stars events. It's like because they're local, we see the other teams coming up, and maybe the first couple shows they came on like they didn't do so hot, but now the last couple of shows you're starting to see them really elevate.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like I think eventually like it's not going to be just us three. If
No,
we feel
yeah.
that way.
And that's
I don't
it's
feel
gonna-
that way. No, not for sure. But just the amount of years that we've had and the amount of fighters that we've produced, champions.
I got slept
You
on
guys
a lot 'cause-
collectively have a lot of years.
Yeah.
Well, I opened
under
up my
your
gym.
belt.
I was 26, so it's like I got
Yeah.
slept on. by a
26
lot.
years old.
Yeah.
Damn,
Yeah.
that's
But-
young.
People hated
So
on
how
me.
old are you now? Like
30, 34.
34. We're the same age. All
Yeah.
right.
But also, it's a good fighter can come out of a gym, but when you have generations of good fighters coming out of the gym, that's something different.
Right.
You have a culture and a formula to create good fighters. It's not just you got lucky with one Deion Sanders. you
Yeah,
know?
it's definitely it's a formula for sure. You can because if you're gonna have people hanging like sticking around, competing, moving up the ladder, you guys clearly are.
But the new teams, I love it.
Yeah.
And a lot of them, they remind me of me, when I was in my 20s pushing into the coaching and the management and gym owning game. It's awesome. We need that. And we need we don't want to just have one or two gyms. You need two to shine. We need the other gyms to have that friendly competition and to put on really good Muay Thai fights.
And they got some attitude to them too. Like they believe that they're coming.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah.
I love to see it.
Yeah, everyone getting better.
But
well-
I don't want. I'll say this. I don't want it to seem like it's just for Sacramento teams. Like I want to build Muay Thai generally everywhere. But obviously it starts at a hub, and I think we've talked about this before. Is Sacramento gets slept on. Like a lot of the promotions left or they stopped, and now it was just the Bay Area, and we'd be traveling to San Jose as the closest venue. So I wanted to bring it back. So it's not that I want to only build Sacramento. It's just that I wanted to do it here where I'm from.
And then they will come
And then
here
they'll come
once
to
you
us.
once
So
you
we
build
have-
it, they will come.
We have champions from LA. We have champions from Santa Maria area. I've brought fighters in from Hawaii. We brought a fighter from Mexico. Like everybody can grow on our platform. It's just that I'm gonna do it here.
Sure.
Yeah, I mean
Yeah.
Sacramento's on the up, man. They're doing a lot of cool things. They're building a lot of cool things. There's a ton of houses, ton of culture, ton of food. I mean, I just went to Seattle, and I don't know if it's just because it's like another city or something like that. But I don't know what I was expecting, but I guess I just realized how cool Sacramento is. Like we have. When usually you go travel, you're like, all right, what kind of new food can we get over here? What's different than where I live? And man, Sacramento's got everything, man.
Yes.
We have the shows, we have the sports teams, we got
People don't know.
excellent food, man. Excellent food.
Sleeping on Sacramento.
And it's still affordable to live here, and it's great. And there's tons of shit to do here, and it's easy to get here.
and